Chapter 1829. The Ice Soul Mirror was the most precious treasure of the Ice Spirit clan. Once the Ice Soul Mirror was used, everything within 1,000 meters would be frozen in an instant. The Ice Spirit clan relied on this powerful Starry Sky divine weapon to gain a foothold in the advanced planes. Although the Ice Soul Mirror was powerful, it also had a fatal weakness. It could only be used 10 times. Since the first master of the Ice Spirit clan used it, it had been used 9 times. In other words, now the Ice Soul Mirror could only be used 1 time. If Bing Chen could not defeat Longao with the help of the Ice Soul Mirror, then it would be impossible to lock onto Longao again. There was only one chance. Longao, who was running at full speed, suddenly felt that all the space around him was frozen. He was shocked. He did not dare to be careless. Longao certainly knew that this must be the space divine weapon used by Bing Chen, but he never expected the Starry Sky divine weapon in Bing Chen's hand to be so powerful. Using his finger as a sword, Bing Chen swung his sword backward. Reincarnation sword chi came out one after another. In the blink of an eye, Longao had set up a shield of reincarnation sword chi around him. It was an absolute vacuum. He was locked onto thousands of meters away. Longao knew very well that as soon as he left the shield of reincarnation sword chi, he would be locked onto immediately. At that time, he would be meat on the chopping board, at the mercy of others. The situation was critical. At the critical moment of life and death, Longao was a little overwhelmed. With the help of the reincarnation sword chi around him, he slowly walked forward, but his speed was obviously slowed down. Not only that, he could not even use teleportation. A few seconds later, Bing Chen and the other 2 had arrived in front of Longao. The 3 of them did not waste any time this time. Each of them used all their strength to attack Longao fiercely. A second-level Starry Sky Cultivator and 2 first-level Starry Sky Cultivators. The 3 of them attacked together. Even a second-level Starry Sky Cultivator could not resist such a joint attack, let alone an ordinary warrior. He was in big trouble. Longao kept retreating, shock written all over his face. Because in this situation, was he doomed? At the critical moment, just when Longao thought he was going to die, the situation suddenly changed. If he didn't have the Ice Spirit Mirror's lock, he could easily leave by relying on Longao's space teleportation. But now, 2 terrifying sword chis suddenly erupted from Longao's body. One was a purple sword chi and the other was a white sword chi. The 2 streams of sword chi were like sword dragons as they crisscrossed with each other. The cries of swords resounded through the entire space. Xiling, Bai Ling. Longao knew that the people who came to his rescue were Xiling and Bai Ling. If it had been an ordinary grade 1 Starry Sky Cultivator, it would have been fine. However, there were 3 of them, and Bing Chen was a grade 2 Starry Sky Cultivator. Go for wool and come home shorn. If something happened to Bai Ling and Xiling because of her, she would blame herself for the rest of her life. Brother Long, we're here to help you. Don't. Of course, Xiling and Bai Ling wouldn't care about Longao. If they didn't help, Longao would definitely die. How could the 2 of them let that happen? The 2 streams of sword chi directly attacked the 3 of them. The 3 of them, who were confident that they could kill Longao, were suddenly attacked by the 2 streams of sword chi. They didn't seem to be able to react in time and were directly pushed back by the 2 streams of sword chi. Starry Sky Genling. Bing Chen and the others instantly knew that there were 2 Starry Sky Genling in their opponent's body. Otherwise, it would be impossible to release such powerful sword chi. Sect Master, the Starry Sky Sword Spirit in Longao's body, if I'm not mistaken, is at least above the 6th level of Starry Sky Realm. Bing Chen nodded in agreement. Greed was written all over Bing Chen's face. If the 3 of them could get the 2 streams of sword chi, their cultivation would skyrocket. Longao, as long as you hand over the 2 Starry Sky Genling in your body, I'll let you go. From then on, the grudge between you and me will be written off. What do you think? The Ice Soul Mirror could last for dozens of minutes. Otherwise, Bing Chen wouldn't have dared to waste time like this. Do you think I'll agree? Xiling and Bai Ling temporarily scared the 3 of them. However, with their current strength, It was impossible for them to fight against 3 starry sky cultivators. Once they were seen through, the consequences would be unimaginable. The Samsara sword in his hand continued to release Samsara sword chi and set up a Samsara sword chi shield around his body. However, under such circumstances, his speed would be very slow. Since you don't agree, I'll kill you first and then devour the 2 Genling. Laughing wildly, the 3 of them charged toward Longao again. In their opinion, the 2 Genling in Longao's body were also destroyed. Only the vital spirit remained. No matter how powerful he was, he wouldn't be able to withstand their joint attack. Out of greed, the 3 of them couldn't wait to devour the 2 Genling in Longao's body. Before the 3 of them could get close, the 2 streams of sword chi instantly expanded and slashed toward them again. They had been careless and didn't expect this. Now, the 3 of them were prepared. The 3 of them joined forces and combined their terrifying strength, directly colliding with the 2 streams of sword chi. It wasn't as earth-shattering as they had imagined. Both Xiling and Bai Ling spat out a mouthful of blood at the same time. Their faces were pale. No matter what, they were still starry Genling. Without the primordial spirit in their bodies, their strength was greatly reduced. This was the real reason why the 3 of them could seriously injure the 2 of them when they joined forces. Long Fu, seal the dragon seal. Don't let Xiling and Bai Ling attack again. Of course, Longao could clearly sense the injuries of Xiling and Bai Ling. If they continued to attack, no one could guarantee what would happen to Xiling and Bai Ling. The only way now was to let Long Fu seal the dragon seal space. In this way, with the current strength of Xiling and Bai Ling, they wouldn't be able to break the seal and attack. In Longao's view, their lives were more important than his own. Long Fu, of course, knew the seriousness of the matter. He immediately sealed the dragon seal space. Long Fu, hurry up and open the seal. We have to save Longao. Xiling and Bai Ling were completely panicking. According to Longao's strength, it was impossible for him to resist the joint forces of 3 starry sky cultivators. If the 2 of them didn't attack, Longao would undoubtedly die. However, at this moment, Long Fu sealed the space. The 2 of them were furious to the extreme. However, according to their strength, it was impossible for them to break the seal. In other words, only Long Fu could open the seal of the dragon seal space. Chapter 1830. Miss Xiling, Miss Bai Ling, I can't let you go out. Please forgive me. Long Fu would certainly choose to listen to Longao. If something happened to Xiling and Bai Ling, he didn't know how to explain it to his master. Outside the dragon seal space, the 3 of them were heavily injured by the 2 sword chis. Because of this, Longao took the opportunity to rush out with all his strength. Chase after him. In the blink of an eye, dozens of minutes had passed. Bing Chen and the other 2 were extremely depressed. They thought that with the help of the Ice Soul Mirror, they could definitely kill the other party. But what happened? No one expected that Longao would have 2 such powerful starry sky Genling in his body. Even though they were prepared, they were still injured by the 2 sword chis. It was hard to imagine how powerful the 2 sword chis in Longao's body were. Longao had escaped from the Ice Soul Mirror's lock. With the help of spatial teleportation, Longao's speed soared to the extreme. In the blink of an eye, his figure had disappeared without a trace. The 3 of them didn't continue to chase. His face was gloomy to the extreme, as unsightly as it could get. Master, the other party's speed is too fast. Without the Ice Soul Mirror's lock, it's difficult for us to catch up with him. Bing Chen nodded. How could Bing Chen not understand the meaning of the 2 elders' words? Although the 2 starry sky Genling injured us, if nothing unexpected happens, the other party is also seriously injured. If we can lock onto Longao's position, it'll be easy to devour the starry sky Genling. Greed. His face was full of greed. Whether it was Bing Ri or Bing Yu, both of them wanted to devour the 2 starry sky Genling. Although they couldn't devour any starry sky guardhood in the starry sky secret realm, they could devour starry sky guardhoods or starry sky Genling from outside. This was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that hadn't come across in 10,000 years. With our strength, we can't catch up with Longao. The Ice Soul Mirror is useless. The only way now is to borrow the power of the Nebula Dragon Leopard. Upon hearing the Master's words, both of them were shocked. Master, everyone knows about the Nebula Dragon Leopard's greed. Once we borrow its power, even if we can kill Longao later, I'm afraid that the 2 Starry Sky Genling will be taken over by the Nebula Dragon Leopard. Worry. All his hard work had gone to someone else's benefit. I have an idea. The 3 of them headed in another direction. On top of a huge boulder, there was a beast that looked like a dragon but wasn't a dragon. It looked like a leopard but wasn't a leopard. It was the Level 2 Space Mythological Beast, Starcloud Dragon Leopard. Grade 2 Starry Sky Cultivator and Grade 2 Starry Sky Divine Beast. Although Bing Chen and the Nebula Dragon Leopard were of the same cultivation level, the difference in strength between the two was extremely large. Brother Dragon Leopard, I have something to discuss with you. Bing Chen, you and I have always minded our own business. Why are you looking for me? The Nebula Dragon Leopard was very curious. In this small space, second-grade Starry Sky cultivators were invincible. No one dared to provoke the Ice Spirit clan, where Bing Chen was from. Because of this, the Nebula Dragon Leopard was very curious. It didn't know why Bing Chen was looking for it. Bing Chen didn't hide anything. He told the Nebula Dragon Leopard everything that had happened before. After listening, the Nebula Dragon Leopard's face was also filled with greed. 2 Genling with a cultivation level of at least level 6 Starry Sky Realm. Even a level 5 Starry Sky cultivator wouldn't be able to resist such temptation, let alone the Nebula Dragon Leopard. Bing Chen, tell me why you're here. I don't want to hear any nonsense. What I mean is very simple. Your speed is enough to compete with Longao. When the time comes, you and I will work together to deal with him. However, there are 2 Starry Sky Genling. You and I will each devour a Starry Sky Genling. How does that sound? Deal. The Nebula Dragon Leopard wasn't a greedy person. It knew that it only needed to devour 1 Starry Sky Genling. As for the second Starry Sky Genling, it wouldn't be much trouble for Bing Chen. The Nebula Dragon Leopard couldn't wait to find out that Bing Chen had a Starry Sky Genling in his body. Moreover, it was a Genling that was at least level 5 or above. Just like that, Bing Chen and the other 2 immediately left with the Nebula Dragon Leopard. As for where to find Longao, the Nebula Dragon Leopard had its own way. Longao, who was out of danger, immediately found a secluded place and entered the Dragon Seal space. Xiling, Bai Ling, are you okay? Seeing that the 2 of them were safe and sound, Longao finally heaved a sigh of relief. Xiling snorted coldly and walked to the side. He didn't say a word and was obviously furious. As for Bai Ling, she also looked worried. However, unlike Xiling, she said, Brother Dragon, can I ask you for a favor? There was no need for Bai Ling to say anything. Longao already knew what Bai Ling wanted to ask of him. Shaking his head, Longao refused directly. No, Bai Ling, your and Xiling's safety is more important than anything else. Even if I die, I won't let anything happen to you. Next time, without my command, you can't attack. Otherwise, I'll make Long Fu seal you here at all times. Bai Ling was obviously in a difficult position because she knew Brother Dragon's strength very well. If he encountered a level 1 Starry Sky cultivator, he might be able to deal with it. However, what if he encountered 2 or more Starry Sky cultivators? Don't care about him. If he wants to die, let him die. Xiling was very angry, but she felt a little warm in her heart because Longao had just said that he would rather die than let the 2 of them die. This sentence was enough. Longao obviously didn't want to dwell on this issue. Instead, he said, I have successfully obtained the Icefire 9-layered cauldron. With my current strength, with the help of the Reincarnation Sword and the Icefire 9-layered cauldron, can I kill a level 1 Starry Sky cultivator? This was what Longao was most concerned about. Whether it was Bai Ling or Xiling, they both knew that Longao didn't want to dwell on this issue. Bai Ling sighed helplessly and said, Brother Dragon, your reincarnation sword chi can break through the power of the starry sky. With the help of the Icefire 9-layered cauldron, you should have no problem fighting against a level 1 starry sky cultivator who has just entered the level 1 starry sky cultivator realm. However, if you face someone who has stabilized the level 1 starry sky cultivator realm, you won't know whether you will win or lose. Brother Dragon, I believe you should know that sometimes actual combat experience is very important. Yes. Longao was very clear about the meaning of Bai Ling's words. It seemed that there was still a gap between him and a level 1 starry sky cultivator. However, if he wanted to test his current strength, he had to find a level 1 starry sky cultivator to test his strength. However, such a martial artist or divine beast might be difficult to find in the outside continents, but in the starry sky secret realm, there were starry sky cultivators everywhere. Chapter 1831. Who should I test it on? After thinking about it, Longao locked onto two people. One was Bing Ri, and the other was Bing Yu. Bing Chen's strength was obvious. A level 2 starry sky cultivator was not someone he could compete with. However, Bing Ri and Bing Yu's situation was different. Both of them were level 1 starry sky cultivators. He could use them to test his strength. As for whether he would win or lose, no one would know until he tried. Just do it. Longao looked for traces of Bing Chen and the other two. If Bing Chen and the other two knew about this, what would they think? Reincarnation doppelganger, I'm counting on you. Longao had fought with the three of them before. If it was outside, even with Long Ming's help, it would be difficult to locate the three of them. However, the situation was completely different now. In a small space, with Long Ming's lock, Longao quickly found the three of them. What kind of starry sky divine beast is this? Sensing the dragon leopard divine beast beside Bing Chen, Longao was shocked because he had already sensed that it was a level 2 starry sky divine beast. Whoosh! The reincarnation doppelganger had already rushed out at an extremely fast speed. The four people who were trying their best to find Longao's trace suddenly saw Longao heading to the left. The four of them were shocked. The other party seemed to be a little too fast and arrogant. Chase. Even if it was not for Longao, the temptation of 2 starry sky Genling was there. How could the four of them choose to give up so easily? The opportunity was here. Longao did not hesitate. With a spatial teleport, his figure disappeared from the spot. A huge reincarnation sword chi flew out and blocked Bing Ri's path. You're courting death. The four of them all stopped, but there was no trace of Longao. What was going on? Continue to chase. The nebula dragon leopard was very fast. It did not care about Bing Ri's life or death. It did not care whether Bing Ri was alive or dead. The only thing it cared about was the 2 starry sky Genling in Longao's body. Helpless. Bing Chen also followed. Their speed was obviously faster than Bing Ri and Bing Yu. Their figures had already disappeared, but Bing Ri and Bing Yu were still in the same place. Big brother, what happened? Second brother, there's something fishy going on. Someone did attack me just now. Hearing this, Bing Yu's face instantly darkened. Who is it? If you have the ability to do it, then have the ability to come out. Why hide? 1 against 2, he was still no match for the two of them. Although Longao wanted to test his strength, it was in a 1-on-1 situation, not 1-on-2. How to separate the two of them? No matter how he thought about it, Longao couldn't think of a good idea. Big brother, could this person be Longao? Shaking his head, Bing Ri said with certainty, impossible. The nebula Longao has already locked onto Longao's position. How could Longao split himself to deal with us? Moreover, Longao clearly knows that he is no match for us. Why would he be so stupid as to send himself to the mountain gate? Bing Ri was very confident that he wouldn't dare to come forward. The matter of a sheep entering the tiger's mouth, unless Longao's brain was flooded with water, otherwise, he would definitely not do this. Big brother, what should we do now? With their speed, they couldn't catch up with the master and the nebula dragon leopard. At this time, even if they wanted to, they couldn't catch up to them. Since that was the case, they had to think of another way. After thinking for a while, Bing Ri said, "You and I will split up and look for Longao's traces. Remember, once you find Longao, you devour a starry sky genling, and I'll devour a starry sky genling." Humans were selfish. The two of them were brothers, and Bing Chen was their uncle. If there were 3 starry sky genling, then each of them would devour a starry sky genling without a doubt. However, the current situation was a little special. Longao only had 2 starry sky genling in his body. If they had to choose, they would definitely devour the starry sky genling first. Okay. Bing Ri and Bing Yu went in different directions from the nebula dragon leopard. In fact, the two of them also wanted to try their luck. If they were lucky, they could devour the starry sky genling separately. If they were unlucky, they could only watch the master and the nebula dragon leopard devour the starry sky genling. Should he choose Bing Ri? Or should he choose Bing Yu? Longao was unable to sense who was stronger or weaker between the two of them. However, with Bai Ling and Ziling's senses, he quickly knew that between Bing Ri and Bing Yu's strength was obviously unable to contend against Bing Ri. In that case, he could only choose Bing Yu. Longao's figure quietly chased after them. Without the obstruction of others, this time, he could test his strength and see if he could compete with a grade 1 starry sky cultivator. Although they didn't fight, Longao could be sure that neither Bing Ri nor Bing Yu were grade 1 starry sky cultivators. Bing Yu. Looking at the person in front of her, Bing Yu seemed to be in disbelief. She rubbed her eyes dramatically. After confirming again and again, she was sure that the young man in front of her was Longao, the person they were looking for. She was pleasantly surprised. It seemed that her luck was not bad. If she could kill the other party, not only could she devour a starry sky genling, but even her brother could devour a starry sky genling. Thinking that she could break through to the grade 5 starry sky realm in the future, Bing Yu couldn't wait. "Longao, you're really arrogant. Today, I'll let you know." Before Bing Yu could finish speaking, Longao took a big stride forward. Before he arrived, the samsara sword in his hand had already slashed out fiercely. Bing Yu was shocked. Bing Yu had never expected that the other party would attack without any preparation. However, Bing Yu didn't take Longao seriously at all. She dealt with every move as it came, and dealt with all changes by sticking to the status quo. The starry sky power erupted from her body and fiercely suppressed Longao. If she faced other Nirvana realm martial artists who were half a step into the starry sky realm, she would probably die. Only Longao's situation was very special. The samsara sword in his hand cooperated with the 36 samsara styles, and the samsara sword chi directly broke through the suppression of the starry sky power. This was the real reason why Longao dared to fight against a starry sky cultivator. With the previous lesson, Bing Yu certainly wouldn't tangle with Longao for long. She was ready to fight in close combat and kill Longao in the shortest time possible. She also had to devour the starry sky genling before the master and the nebula dragon leopard arrived. Otherwise, she and her brother wouldn't have a chance to get the starry sky genling. However, Bing Yu certainly didn't expect that Longao would obtain the starry sky divine artifact Icefire 9-layered cauldron that guarded the Ice Valley. Otherwise, he wouldn't be so calm. After all, the Icefire 9-layered cauldron was different. Even a Nirvana realm martial artist who was half a step into the starry sky could use it. Chapter 1832. Longao was very clear. Even if he was half a step into the starry sky realm, his strength was still not enough to compete with Bing Yu. He had to end the battle quickly. The longer he delayed, the more disadvantageous it would be for him. The reincarnation sword broke through the suppression of the opponent's starry sky power, and the Icefire 9-layered cauldron appeared in Longao's hand. Ice Sealing 10,000 Li, Burnate Desolation, two extreme powers of ice and fire, crazily rushed towards Bing Yu. Ah! How could Bing Yu not know about the Icefire 9-layered cauldron? He never thought that the starry sky divine weapon guarding the Ice Valley would fall into the hands of Longao. No wonder Longao dared to provoke him. It turned out that he relied on the Icefire 9-layered cauldron. Ha ha ha, Ha 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 ha. Although shocked, after a short shock, Bing Yu suddenly laughed crazily. Longao, don't think that you can challenge me with the Icefire 9-layered cauldron. You are still far from it. Half-step into the starry sky realm was always a half-step. There was still an insurmountable gap between the real starry sky realm cultivator. That was exactly the case. Bing Yu was not surprised at all. Instead, he calmly responded. However, Bing Yu still underestimated Longao. The Icefire 9-layered cauldron in his hand, two terrifying extreme powers, one from the left and one from the right, enveloped Bing Yu. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity had come. It seemed a little difficult to kill Bing Yu with the reincarnation sword and the Icefire 9-layered cauldron alone. It was almost impossible. If he encountered an ordinary person, he would have been helpless. Except for Longao. Time kills skill. Time imprisonment. If it was in a normal situation, with Bing Yu's strength, it would definitely be impossible for Longao to lock on. But now, with the suppression of two extreme powers, even Bing Yu failed. Time crush. Under Bing Yu's shocked gaze, the surrounding time began to shatter. Under such circumstances, Bing Yu's body began to shatter piece by piece along with the surrounding time. Although Time Crush was powerful, it could not preserve the body and primordial spirit. Otherwise, Long Fu could refine Bing Yu into a soul slave or corpse slave to help himself. Worthy of being a Grade 1 Starry Sky cultivator, Ning Cheng had to use all his sure kill skills to kill him. If other people came to know that Longao had killed a Grade 1 Starry Sky cultivator while in the Nirvana Rebirth realm, it would definitely cause a huge commotion. Such a thing was unheard of. Next, Ice Day. After successfully killing Bing Yu, Longao did not hesitate and directly headed in the direction that Bing Ri had just left. Although Bing Ri had left first, with Longao's speed and spatial teleportation, catching up to Bing Ri was only a matter of minutes. In another place. Who are you? Since you're following me, why are you being so sneaky? Bing Ri, your second brother is already dead. Why don't you go down and accompany him? Seeing Longao suddenly appear in front of him, Bing Ri was very surprised. Would Bing Ri believe it? He sneered and said, Longao, you think you can kill my second brother? You don't have to be an alarmist here, but since you're not afraid of death, I'll fulfill your wish. Bing Ri was more or less surprised, because his luck was not bad. Once he killed Longao, wouldn't he be able to devour the Starry Sky Genling? Just when Bing Ri did not want to talk nonsense and was about to make a move, the situation suddenly changed. Longao pulled out a corpse from nowhere and threw it right in front of him. It was too familiar. Second brother. Bing Ri never thought that Longao would really kill his second brother, and that his primordial spirit would be destroyed, leaving only his body, a badly damaged body. Longao, I'm going to tear you to pieces. Looking at his second brother's corpse, Bing Ri was furious to the extreme. He did not continue to talk nonsense and rushed out directly. Before he arrived, a terrifying murderous aura had already arrived. He did not dare to be the slightest bit careless. Longao could clearly feel that Bing Ri's strength was far above Bing Yu's. It would be countless times more difficult for him to kill Bing Ri than it was for him to kill Bing Yu. However, the situation now was different. Watching his second brother being killed, Bing Ri's state of mind was already in chaos. If it was any other Nirvana realm martial artist, then it would have been fine. However, Longao was an Evildor who could kill a Starry Sky cultivator. The Samsara sword released the Samsara sword chi. Bing Ri wanted to suppress Longao with the power of the Starry Sky, which seemed a bit ridiculous. The Icefire 9-layered cauldron, two kinds of extreme power came out crazily. Bing Ri and Bing Yu were the same. Sensing that the other party had used the Starry Sky divine weapon, they were also shocked. But after thinking about it, they felt relieved. If Longao had not taken away the Icefire 9-layered cauldron, how could the Ice Valley collapse and become a pile of ruins? Bing Ri was obviously calmer than Bing Yu and had put away his contempt. His second brother could be killed by Longao, which in itself showed how strong Longao was. But in Bing Ri's view, the main reason why Longao could kill his second brother was because of the Icefire 9-layered cauldron in his hand. He kept retreating and did not want to fight force with force. But would Longao choose to give up so easily? Bing Ri's strength was above Bing Yu's. The longer the time was delayed, the worse it would be for him. Longao used his time shorekill technique, time imprisonment and time crush again. Bing Ri, who was retreating, suddenly felt the time imprisonment around him. He was shocked and did not know what was going on. Due to his carelessness, even Bing Ri fell for it. But at this time, before Longao could use time crush, two terrifying auras came from afar at a very fast speed. Nebula Dragon Leopard and Bing Chen had arrived. Although Longao was confident that he could kill a Grade 1 Starry Sky Cultivator, he did not have the slightest confidence in facing a Grade 2 Starry Sky Cultivator. This time, he did not succeed in killing Bing Ri. It would be even more difficult to continue killing Bing Ri in the future. After all, after this battle, Bing Ri would definitely be on guard. After the battle between Bing Ri and Bing Yu, Longao had a general understanding of his strength. He was still not a match for a Grade 1 Starry Sky Cultivator, even if he used all kinds of shorekill techniques. After all, the difference in realm was really difficult to make up for with other things. However, with his strength, if there were no accidents, everyone would look down on him and ignore him when facing a Grade 1 Starry Sky Cultivator. Samsara Sword, Icefire 9-layer Cauldron, and Time Shorekill technique. If he used all kinds of sudden, once the Grade 1 Starry Sky Cultivator was careless and let down his guard, he would still be able to kill him. Bing Yu and Bing Ri were the best examples. Longao did not continue to chase after Bing Ri, because Nebula Dragon Leopard and Bing Chen would soon arrive. If he continued to stay, once he was besieged by Nebula Dragon Leopard and Bing Chen, he would definitely die. Thinking of this, Longao turned and left quickly. Before the two arrived, Longao's figure had disappeared without a trace. Chapter 1833. The second after Longao left. The Nebula Dragon Leopard and Bing Chen had arrived, but it was too late. Great Elder, what happened? Bing Ri suppressed his anger and shock as he recounted everything that had happened in detail. The three of them were not fools. They had all guessed that Longao was obviously luring them away. Longao could kill Bing Yu. The Nebula Dragon Leopard and Bing Chen were well aware of Bing Yu's strength. That was why they could not believe that Longao could kill a level 1 Starry Sky Cultivator. Could it be because of the Icefire 9-layered Cauldron? Brother Dragon Leopard, what do you think? The Nebula Dragon Leopard thought for a moment and said, according to Bing Ri, Longao must have used the power of the Icefire 9-layered Cauldron to kill Bing Yu. He clenched his fists tightly. Bing Chen was furious. For so many years, he had not touched the Icefire 9-layered Cauldron for the sake of the stability of the Ice Valley. But in the end, Longao had benefited from it. How could he not be angry? If he had known this would happen, he would have thought of a way to deal with the Icefire 9-layered Cauldron. Strictly speaking, Bing Chen had never taken the Icefire 9-layered Cauldron seriously. In his opinion, a level 1 Starry Sky Divine weapon was nothing to worry about, except for the fact that it could guard the Ice Valley. But now, Bing Chen regretted it to the extreme. What are you worried about? Even if Longao could kill Bing Yu with the help of the Icefire 9-layered Cauldron, he's still nothing against us. Otherwise, he wouldn't have had to run away. Perhaps they were too anxious just now and did not think of this at all. Brother Dragon Leopard is right. We must find Longao as soon as possible. Otherwise, once Longao's cultivation breaks through to the Starry Sky realm, it will be difficult for us to deal with him with the help of the Icefire 9-layered Cauldron. It would be a lie to say that they were not afraid. No matter what, Longao had killed Bing Yu. With the Dragon Leopard's help, the three of them quickly found the direction Longao had left. Without any hesitation, the three of them went after him with all their might. Master, you should leave this space first. Why? The Nebula Dragon Leopard's speed is terrifying. Coupled with Bing Chen's strength, once you're trapped, you'll be in big trouble. He wasn't worried at all. Long Fu, I can enter the Dragon Seal space at any time. Do I still need to be afraid of the Nebula Dragon Leopard and Ice Dust? Long Fu's expression was grave as he helplessly said, "Master, from now on, you can't casually enter the Dragon Seal space." "Why is that? What the hell is going on?" Hearing Long Fu's words, Longao was shocked. The Dragon Seal space had always been his greatest reliance. Even now, the reason why he wasn't afraid of Bing Chen and the others was because he could enter the Dragon Seal space at any time. But now, Longao had no idea what was going on. Why was he unable to enter the Dragon Seal space for no reason? "Master, the God Diviner has already returned to the Martial Heaven continent. Furthermore, he's in the Starry Sky secret realm. If you casually enter the Dragon Seal space and the God Diviner senses it, we'll be in trouble." So that's how it was. Longao was depressed to the extreme. The divine mathematician did not come back earlier or later, but came back at this time. If it was really as Long Fu said, then he really couldn't enter the Dragon Seal space. No matter what, he couldn't let the God Diviner know that he possessed the secret of the Dragon Seal. Even now, Longao wasn't sure if the God Diviner was a friend or foe. "Alright, I'll leave this space now." Originally, he had wanted to cause trouble for Bing Chen and the others. However, things had already reached this point. He could only find a passage and leave this place first. Wanting to find a passage to leave in this vast space wasn't an easy task. In a certain part of the space, "Brother Jian Tian, if we leave just like this, what will happen to Brother Long?" Before Jian Tian could speak, Xing Kuan and the others had already become impatient from waiting. "If you don't want to leave, it's up to you. In any case, we'll leave first. Goodbye. Take care." After several days of searching, Xing Kuan and the others had successfully found a passage to leave. Zilei and the others wanted to wait for Longao, but Xing Kuan and the others weren't willing to wait a moment longer. Looking at the figures disappearing one after another, Zilei and the others still didn't leave. "What should we do?" "Wait." Everyone who stayed had a good relationship with Longao. Even Yi Tianhua had received Longao's favor. If they left alone at this time, it would be a little unkind. Everyone waited slowly. After a few hours, Longao finally arrived. "Brother Long, are you alright?" Shaking his head, Longao saw that everyone hadn't left. He was more or less touched. A friend like this was worth making. However, he was a little unwilling to leave just like this. "I'm fine." Since you're fine, we'll leave first." Just as Fen Tian and the others were about to leave, they suddenly realized that Longao didn't move at all. Everyone was curious. They didn't know what Longao meant. Why aren't you leaving?" "Master, Big Brother Zilei, I was almost killed by a few people from the Ice Spirit clan. I must avenge this. Although I killed an elder of the Ice Spirit clan, there are still 2 people alive. If I don't kill these 2, I can't swallow this anger." "Ah!" Hearing Longao's words, everyone was shocked. The first thing that surprised them was that Longao could kill a level 1 Starry Sky cultivator. If Longao hadn't said it himself, it would have been unbelievable. The second thing that shocked them was Longao's arrogance. The 2 people on the other side not only had a level 1 Starry Sky cultivator, but also a level 2 Starry Sky cultivator. Not to mention Longao's strength, even if all of them joined forces, they might not be a match for the 2. Why was Longao so confident? Could it be that Longao was so confident because his cultivation was half a step into the Starry Sky realm? Originally, they didn't want to ask too much. However, this matter was of great importance. If they were careless, Longao would be doomed eternally, and the others would all die. Although they had a good relationship, this matter was of great importance. No one wanted to sacrifice themselves here in vain. Each of them had devoured the Starry Sky divine deity. If they could leave this place smoothly, they would reach the Starry Sky realm. At that time, dominating the world would be just around the corner. Because of this, no one was willing to sacrifice themselves. How could Longao not know about everyone's worries? He smiled and said, "Everyone, I have a way to deal with the 2 of them. All of you leave first. When I'm done with the 2 of them, I'll leave and meet up with you." Chapter 1834. Brother Long, are you looking down on us? Zilei's face was full of anger. Murong Feng Nyan also said angrily, Longao, we are friends, if we want to stay, we will stay together. Even if we die, we will accompany you. They were very touched. Ao, with your strength, it is impossible for you to be a match for the Ice Spirit clan. How are you going to deal with them? Fen Tian was calm enough because he knew Ao's character very well. Without full confidence, Ao would definitely not make a move casually. In that case, did Ao really have a way to deal with the two starry sky cultivators? If that was the case, Fen Tian also wanted to see it. After all, it was very good to be able to kill two starry sky cultivators. To be honest, my cultivation has reached the half-step starry sky realm. With the various trump cards in my hands, I can kill a level 1 starry sky cultivator when the opponent is careless. As for the Ice Spirit clan's elder, Bing Yu, I killed him in the same way. There was no doubt, but until now, everyone still found it hard to believe that Longao really killed a level 1 starry sky cultivator. It was unbelievable and unimaginable. No one spoke. They just looked at Longao in shock. The Ice Spirit clan's master, Bing Chen, is a level 2 starry sky cultivator. As for the other elder, Bing Ri, he is also a level 1 starry sky cultivator. If it was only Bing Ri, I am confident that I can deal with him, but with Bing Chen, I have no chance at all. For some reason, everyone was relieved. If Longao could kill a level 2 starry sky cultivator, they might as well kill themselves. But now that they thought about it, it was a bit unbelievable that Longao could kill a level 1 starry sky cultivator. In any case, Longao's cultivation was only above Nirvana rebirth, but he had not really reached the starry sky realm. Ao, how are you going to deal with Bing Chen and Bing Yu? Not only Fen Tian, but the others also wanted to know the answer. They also wanted to see how Longao would deal with the two starry sky cultivators. Master, I'm going to activate the formation. This was something Longao had already thought about before. If his cultivation was still in the Nirvana realm, he wouldn't have casually stayed behind to deal with two starry sky cultivators. However, the situation was different now. His cultivation had skyrocketed and he was half a step into the starry sky realm. Because of this, he wanted to try and see if he could deal with two starry sky cultivators. Formation. Hearing that Longao was preparing to use the formation to deal with the two of them, everyone was shocked once again, especially Fen Tian, because he knew very well that even though Ao's cultivation was already half a step into the starry sky realm, the level of the formation was still only at the divine level realm. As long as Ao's array formation cultivation did not reach the starry sky realm, he would not be able to arrange a starry sky array formation. In that case, Ao would be overestimating himself if he wanted to rely on array formations to deal with the two of them. Fen Tian sighed deeply, and said helplessly, Ao, I know very well that you are eager to take revenge, but you are still fine. How about this, we will leave this place first, and if there is a chance in the future, we will come in and kill 2 more people, how about that? Fen Tian's meaning was very clear, so how could Longao not know? Longao smiled and said, Master, if it were me alone, I would definitely not be able to do it, but with your help, I am 90% sure that I can kill the 2 of them. My help. Nodding, Longao took care of Zilei and the others in the following time. In other words, except for Fen Tian, everyone had left the space. Ao, you and I are only divine level array masters. If we can break through to the starry sky array master, I still have the confidence to deal with the starry sky cultivators. But now, Fen Tian really could not figure it out. He did not know what Ao was thinking. It was impossible for Ao not to know what he could think of. Master, you can already arrange a starry sky array formation. Before Longao could finish his words, Fen Tian shook his head and said helplessly, although I can arrange a starry sky array formation, I have not broken through to the starry sky array master. It took me 10,000 years to arrange a starry sky array formation. At this point, Fen Tian did not continue, but the meaning in his words was very clear. Master, since you can arrange a starry sky array master, then you are only 1 step away from the starry sky array master. Why don't we take advantage of this opportunity to break through to the Starry Sky Cultivator in one fell swoop? In that case, I believe that Master can arrange a Starry Sky Array Master. At that time, with my help, I don't believe that we can't kill the two of them. How could Fen Tian not be willing to do such a good thing? However, Fen Tian still had self-awareness. Although his talent was good and he had swallowed a level 4 Starry Sky Divine Deity, he would break through to the Starry Sky Cultivator sooner or later. Moreover, he would be a level 4 Starry Sky Cultivator. However, it was a bit difficult to break through to the Starry Sky Cultivator at this time. It was almost impossible. Of course, Longao could guess what his master was thinking. He smiled and said, "Master, under normal circumstances, it would be impossible for you to break through to the Starry Sky Cultivator realm so quickly. Even if you swallowed a Starry Sky Divine Deity, it would still be impossible. According to my guess, if nothing unexpected happens, it would take Master at least 3 years to completely refine the level 4 Starry Sky Divine Deity and break through to the Starry Sky Cultivator realm." Aoa, it's good that you know. In that case, why are you so confident that you can help me break through to the Starry Sky Cultivator realm at this time? Fen Tian was very curious because he knew Aoa's character very well. Without full confidence, he believed that Aoa would never say such things for no reason. "Master, under normal circumstances, it would definitely be impossible for you to break through to the Starry Sky realm at this time. However, the situation is different now. Master, you can use the array and quickly refine the Starry Sky Divine Deity. Even if you can't break through to the level 4 Starry Sky Cultivator realm, it won't be difficult for you to reach the level 1 Starry Sky Cultivator realm." If it were someone else, Longao would definitely not have full confidence, but he knew his master's situation like the back of his hand. "In that case, I'll give it a try." Just like that, Longao and Fen Tian did not stay in the same place. Instead, they found a secluded place and began to cultivate. Again, Longao was ready to borrow the help of the Array Master to help his master break through to the Starry Sky Cultivator realm. Fen Tian had successfully arranged the Starry Sky Array. Just as Longao had guessed, refining the Starry Sky Divine Deity and with the help of Longao, he had successfully broken through to the Starry Sky realm in less than a day. Although he was only a level 1 Starry Sky Cultivator, Fen Tian was the first person to break through to the Starry Sky realm among all the people who entered the Starry Sky Secret Realm. Not only the people in the Starry Sky Secret Realm, but even in the Tianwu continent, Fen Tian was the first person to break through to the Starry Sky Realm in 10,000 years. Congratulations on breaking through to the Starry Sky Realm, Master. Ha ha ha, ha 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 ha. Even Fen Tian did not expect that he would break through to the Starry Sky Realm at this time. If he had not experienced it personally, it would have been hard to believe. Aoa, as my cultivation broke through to the Starry Sky Cultivator realm, my Array Master level has also reached the Starry Sky Array Master level. I am confident that I can arrange the Starry Sky Array Master within 3 days, but as for whether it can kill a Starry Sky Cultivator, even I am not fully confident. Longao nodded. How could he not know about his master's worries? Although his master had a deep understanding of the Array Dao, he had just broken through to the Starry Sky Array Master level. If it were someone else, not to mention 3 days, they might not even be able to arrange the Starry Sky Array Master level array in 3 months. In the end, Fen Tian had taken advantage of the fact that he had arranged the Starry Sky Array Master level array before. Otherwise, it would have been impossible for him to break through to the Starry Sky Cultivator level so smoothly. The two of them discussed day and night and finally came to a decision. They were going to arrange the Starry Sky Array Master that Fen Tian had arranged before, but its power would be even more powerful. No matter what, Fen Tian was now a genuine Starry Sky Array Master. The Space Array Master level array was the most powerful among all the Array Masters. Fen Tian had finally arranged it successfully in 3 days. However, the two of them knew very well that it would be a little difficult to kill 3 Starry Sky Cultivators with just this Starry Sky Array Master level array. Aoa, I believe you should be able to sense that the Space Array Master level array that I have arranged is not enough to kill a level 2 Starry Sky Cultivator, but it is more than enough to kill a level 1 Starry Sky Cultivator. How could Longao not know about it? With the Starry Sky Array Master's strength and the power of the array, it was indeed very easy for him to kill a level 1 Starry Sky Cultivator. However, Bing Chen and the Nebula Dragon Leopard were both in the level 2 Starry Sky realm. It was really impossible for a Starry Sky Array Master to kill the two of them. Fen Tian's face was solemn. Things had already come to this point. He already knew that if he did not kill the three of them, Aoa would definitely not leave so easily. However, with the current situation, he was really a little powerless. Unless his cultivation could take another step forward and break through to the level 2 Starry Sky Cultivator, he would be able to kill a level 2 Starry Sky Cultivator by relying on the upgrade of the Starry Sky Array Master. Fen Tian knew very well that he did not believe that Aoa did not know about what he knew. If that was the case, why did Aoa insist on doing this? Master, in your Starry Sky Array space, do you have a way to limit the strength and speed of Bing Chen and the Nebula Dragon Leopard? This was what Longao was most concerned about. Although he did not know what Aoa wanted to do, Fen Tian still nodded and said, yes, but there are not many restrictions. Aoa, I know what you mean. If you want to enter the array to kill the two of them, you'd better give up on this idea as soon as possible. It's impossible unless your cultivation can also reach the level of a Starry Sky Cultivator. Otherwise, it's absolutely impossible. Chapter 1835. Absolutely impossible. That was Fen Tian's answer. From Fen Tian's point of view, even if he broke through the Starry Sky Cultivator level and set up the Starry Sky Array, it would still be difficult to kill two level 2 Starry Sky Cultivators. The gap between their realms was too big. Also, his cultivation had just broken through the level 1 Starry Sky Cultivator level and his realm had not stabilized yet. Longao's face gradually turned solemn. Everything was ready, but he still did not have full confidence. Should he give up just like that? He was unwilling. He was unwilling to give up. Aoa, revenge is a dish best served cold. Was that really the case? Longao knew very well about the Starry Sky secret realm. Once he left here, it would be almost impossible for him to return in the future. Taking a step back. After 10,000 years, even if the Starry Sky secret realm could be opened again, it was still unknown whether he could enter it. Whether he could enter the Starry Sky secret realm or not was not up to him, but the clairvoyant. Master, why don't you leave first? Aoa, I'll stay with you. Seeing that his master was a little angry, Longao did not say much. The two of them fell silent. Neither of them spoke because they were thinking quickly about what to do. The problem now was that it was impossible to kill Bing Chen and the Nebula Dragon Leopard with just a level 1 Starry Sky Array. Unless his master's cultivation reached the peak level 1 Starry Sky Cultivator level. According to his estimation, it would take his master 3 months to reach the peak level 1 Starry Sky Cultivator level. He could not wait for 3 months. He could not stay here for 3 months. What should he do? Longao, I have a way to kill Bing Chen and the Nebula Dragon Leopard. Just when Longao was at his wit's end, he suddenly heard Xiling's spiritual sense voice transmission. Now that his body could not enter the dragon seal space, he could only communicate with his primordial spirit. After all, he could not let the clairvoyant know about this, otherwise it would be very troublesome. Xiling, what's the plan? The array set up by Fen Tian should have no problem killing a level 1 Starry Sky Cultivator, but it would be a bit difficult to kill a level 2 Starry Sky Cultivator. Longao already knew about this. My plan is actually very simple. Wait for the three of them enter the array. My sister and I will help you and kill them together. He was shocked. Xiling, your strength has not yet recovered to the level of a grade 2 Starry Sky Cultivator. If you act rashly, I'm afraid that something bad might happen to you. Whether it was Xiling or Bai Ling, both of them had been Starry Sky Domain Emperors at their peak strength, but that was only at their peak. At this time, the two of them had only recovered their cultivation to grade 1 Starry Sky Cultivators. As such, they could not fight against a grade 2 Starry Sky Cultivator. Could it be that Xiling was confident? Longao knew Xiling's personality very well. If Xiling wasn't completely confident, he wouldn't have acted so rashly. Longao, my sister and I naturally have a way. You can start now. Longao's intuition told him that Xiling had a plan. Longao alone, even with the combined strength of 2 people, could not kill 2 Grade 2 Starry Sky cultivators. The source of everything came from the Starry Sky formation that Fen Tian had set up. Master, let's begin. He was a little surprised, but since Aoa had already said so, Fen Tian did not say anything more. If they wanted to leave, they would leave together. If they wanted to stay, they would stay together. Seeing that his master was willing to help him without hesitation, Longao was very touched. He did not say anything more. Everything was in silence. Longao released his aura. His cultivation was half a step into the Starry Sky realm, so the range of his aura was very bright. Moreover, he was locked on by the Nebula Dragon Leopard. It took less than a few minutes from start to finish. Bing Chen, I've already sensed Longao's aura. Let's go. Hearing this, Bing Chen was overjoyed. However, he was also very curious. Why did the Nebula Dragon Leopard suddenly sense Longao's aura? Was there something fishy? Even if Longao had the help of the Icefire Ninefold Cauldron, he could only take the risk to kill a Grade 1 Starry Sky cultivator. If he could deal with him and the Nebula Dragon Leopard, he would not have to run away. Thinking of this, even if Bing Chen had some doubts, he did not hesitate and quickly followed the Nebula Dragon Leopard. In the end, Bing Chen was still afraid that the Nebula Dragon Leopard would devour the Genling Starry Sky cultivator on its own. Otherwise, he would definitely not go there so easily. This was because this aura was obviously released on purpose. Unless there was something wrong with Longao's brain, why would he do this? They're here. Sensing 3 powerful Starry Sky auras approaching from afar, Longao and Fen Tian did not hesitate at all. They immediately turned around and entered the Starry Sky formation. As soon as the 2 of them left, the 3 figures appeared. The 3 of them also saw Longao turn around and leave. This is a formation. Although they were not formation masters, whether it was Bing Ri, Bing Chen, or the Nebula Dragon Leopard, they knew very well that the passage where the other party disappeared was definitely a formation. Could Longao set up a formation? The 3 of them were very surprised. They never thought that Longao would be a formation master. However, in their opinion, unless Longao's cultivation had broken through to the Starry Sky realm, even if he was a formation master, it would be impossible for him to set up a Starry Sky formation. Moreover, it was a level 2 Starry Sky formation that could deal with a level 2 Starry Sky cultivator. Longao wanted to use a formation to deal with the 3 of them. Wasn't this a little too whimsical? Brother Dragon Leopard, what do you think of this? Bing Chen, if you're afraid, you can choose not to enter. However, let me make it clear first. If you don't enter the formation, I'll kill Longao. Then, the 2 Starry Sky Genling will belong to me. It will have nothing to do with you. The Nebula Dragon Leopard's strength was obviously above Bing Chen's. This was because the Nebula Dragon Leopard was already at the peak of a level 2 Starry Sky Divine Beast. It was also because of this that Bing Chen had been holding back for so many years. Enter. Or not. For some reason, Bing Chen felt that something was wrong. If Longao did not have full confidence, why would he dare to lure the 3 of them here? However, on second thought, even if Longao was an formation master, it was impossible for him to be a Starry Sky formation master. A Starry Sky formation master that could set up a Starry Sky formation master would not be able to hurt Bing Chen. If he could do it, why didn't Longao make a move before? No one would be willing to give up 2 Starry Sky Genlings so easily, let alone Bing Chen. After all, they were sealed in the Starry Sky secret realm. Even if they obtained a high-level Starry Sky Divine Spark, they would not be able to devour it. However, a Starry Sky Genling from outside was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Only by devouring a Starry Sky Genling could one's cultivation level continuously. Even if one only reached the so-called level 5 Starry Sky realm, one could still dominate this space or even higher. Thinking of this, Bing Chen nodded heavily and said, "Let's enter." I don't believe that Longao can set up a Starry Sky formation master that can deal with us. Chapter 1836. Bing Chen, how about this? You and Bing Ri go in and check it out first. I'll stay here and keep an eye out for you. If anything happens, I can take care of you. Shameless. Bing Chen snorted. How could Bing Chen not know how shameless the Nebula Dragon Leopard was? He would beat it at its own game. Brother Dragon Leopard, it's fine if you don't go in, but I'll say the same thing. Both Starry Sky Genling are mine. All of a sudden, Bing Chen became tough. In front of the Starry Sky Genling, even Bing Chen did not intend to back down. Although he was not as strong as the Nebula Dragon Leopard, it would not be easy for the Nebula Dragon Leopard to kill him. His expression changed again. The Nebula Dragon Leopard exuded a strong murderous aura. In fact, the Nebula Dragon Leopard really wanted to take both Starry Sky Genling for itself. He had a child. If his child could also devour the Starry Sky Genling, he would be a little excited just thinking about it. Thinking of this, the Nebula Dragon Leopard did not get excited. Let's go. The Nebula Dragon Leopard took the lead and walked in. In the blink of an eye, it had disappeared without a trace. Master, what should we do now? Bing Ri had already seen through the Nebula Dragon Leopard's intention. Once they killed Longao and successfully obtained the 2 Starry Sky Genling, he believed that the Nebula Dragon Leopard would attack the 2 of them. It would be a lie if he said that he was not afraid. No matter what, the Nebula Dragon Leopard's strength was obvious. We'll take it one step at a time. Once we kill Longao and obtain the 2 Starry Sky Genling, remember, we have to leave as fast as we can. Bing Chen had already thought about it. Even if the 2 of them were not as strong as the Nebula Dragon Leopard, as long as they could devour the Starry Sky Genling, once their cultivation level broke through, they would be able to kill the Nebula Dragon Leopard in minutes even if they were level 3 Starry Sky cultivators, let alone level 5 Starry Sky cultivators. There were 9 major realms in the Starry Sky, and the gap between each realm was huge. Bing Ri, Bing Chen, and the Nebula Dragon Leopard all entered the Starry Sky array successfully. It was an independent space, and there was a black mass everywhere. Welcome to the Starry Sky array I've set up. Looking at the 2 people who had suddenly appeared in front of them, the 3 people's hearts skipped a beat. This was because the other party had already said that the array formation they had entered was not an ordinary array formation, but a Starry Sky array formation. Longao, so what if you can arrange a Starry Sky array formation? The 3 of them had already sensed that the old man next to Longao was a Starry Sky cultivator. Even so what? He was just a grade 1 Starry Sky cultivator. As such, the 3 of them did not put him in their eyes. Bing Chen, let's settle the grudge between us today. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. He laughed crazily. His laughter was filled with disdain and mockery. In Bing Chen's opinion, Longao was simply courting death. He actually dared to provoke him. Shut up. Brother Dragon Leopard, what is the meaning of this? There was a limit to a person's tolerance, let alone a cultivator of the Starry Sky. Bing Chen repeatedly lured the Nebula Dragon Leopard in, only to find that the Nebula Dragon Leopard repeatedly humiliated him. If this carried on, he would be trampled under the feet of the Nebula Dragon Leopard sooner or later. Longao, hand over the 2 Starry Sky Genling and I'll back out immediately. Ignoring Bing Chen completely, the Nebula Dragon Leopard spoke to Longao. After all, the reason why he was here this time around was not to help Bing Chen. At the end of the day, he was here for the 2 Starry Sky Genling. If he could get his hands on the 2 Starry Sky Genling, it wouldn't be an issue for the Nebula Dragon Leopard to deal with Bing Chen. Bing Chen's face was extremely dark right now. It was as ugly as it could get. If not for the fact that he couldn't strike right now, he would definitely fight the Nebula Dragon Leopard even if he knew that he wasn't a match for the other party. This was too much of a bully. Nebula Dragon Leopard? That's right. Longao's face was indifferent as he replied calmly, you and I are both smart people. There's no need to beat around the bush. 2 Starry Sky Genling isn't of much use to me. As long as you promise me one thing, I'll give you 2 Starry Sky Genling. How about it? What is it? Actually, the Nebula Dragon Leopard had already guessed it. However, he still asked despite knowing the answer. It would be best if he could get his hands on the starry sky genling without fighting. This was because the nebula dragon leopard was very worried. What if Longao destroyed the starry sky genling or some other accident happened? What was the point even if Longao died? What he wanted were the two starry sky genling. As for Longao's life and death, the nebula dragon leopard didn't care at all. It's very simple. I believe you should know about the grudge between me and Bing Chen. I only have one request. Help me kill the two of them and the two starry sky genling will be yours. How about that? Just as expected. Longao, don't go overboard. Bing Chen was shocked. Although he had already guessed it, he still couldn't help but feel angry when he heard it. If it was an ordinary person, he wouldn't care. However, it would be a lie if he said that he wasn't afraid of the nebula dragon leopard. Even if the nebula dragon leopard couldn't kill him, once the two sides started fighting, both sides would suffer. By then, wouldn't Longao be the fisherman who reaped the benefits? I'm going overboard. You're the one who's going overboard. You want to kill me again and again. Do you really think I'm easy to bully? As if he didn't want to talk nonsense, Longao looked at the nebula dragon leopard in front of him and said coldly, "If you agree, our deal will start immediately. If you don't, even if you can kill me, I'll destroy the two starry sky genling. Believe it or not, it's up to you. Agree or not?" The nebula dragon leopard muttered in its heart. If it were two level 1 starry sky cultivators, it would start a fight without hesitation. However, the problem now was that Bing Chen was a level 2 starry sky cultivator. Once the fight started, it wasn't confident that it could kill Bing Chen and Fen Tian in the shortest time possible. Most importantly, there was Longao, a level 1 starry sky cultivator, by its side. If both sides suffered, wouldn't it go for wool and come home shorn? For a moment, the nebula dragon leopard didn't know how to choose. Longao and Fen Tian sneered in their hearts. If both sides could start a fight first, it would be much easier for them to deal with one side even if both sides didn't suffer. It would be best if they fought, but it didn't matter if they didn't. Nebula dragon leopard, are you really going to attack the two of us? Bing Chen was already prepared because he wasn't sure if the nebula dragon leopard would attack. He didn't want to see even 1 out of 10,000 accidents. If the nebula dragon leopard showed any signs of attacking, it would be better to attack first and gain the initiative. Both of them had their own ulterior motives. However, the nebula dragon leopard sneered and said, "Bing Chen, sacrificing the two of you can help me. You should be satisfied. I can promise that after you die, I'll personally help you. Why don't you reincarnate?" Chapter 1837. Shameless. This was the end of his patience. Bing Chen was instantly enraged and scolded, "Nebula dragon leopard, who do you think you are? You want us to fulfill your wish? What right do you have?" He was completely enraged. Bing Chen had been holding back. Other than being weaker than the other party, it was more because of Longao and the two starry sky genling. In the end, ha ha ha, good, very good, very good. I'll show you. Before he could finish his sentence, the nebula dragon leopard's figure had already disappeared, leaving only after images. Bing Chen was shocked. Great Elder, retreat quickly. Unable to take care of himself, Bing Chen did not dare to split himself to help Bing Ri. Just as Bing Chen had guessed, the nebula dragon leopard's first target was Bing Ri. How could Bing Ri resist a level 2 starry sky divine beast against a level 1 starry sky cultivator with the strength of a nebula dragon leopard? Phut! Before Bing Ri could react, his body had already slowly collapsed. Even his primordial spirit was directly destroyed by the nebula dragon leopard. Other than the fact that the nebula dragon leopard was very powerful, it killed Bing Ri in one move because of its speed. What Bing Chen was truly afraid of was the nebula dragon leopard's speed. Next, you. Bing Chen was now regretting. If he had known this would happen, he would have fought Longao alone. Although the chances were slim, it was still much better than now. He reaped what he sowed. Bing Chen did not resent the nebula dragon leopard. The one he truly resented was Longao. In his opinion, if it were not for the two starry sky Genling, the nebula dragon leopard would not have attacked him. The nebula dragon leopard was too fast. After images surrounded Bing Chen. The battle between the two level 2 starry sky cultivators was earth-shattering. This is the first time I've seen such a battle in my life. Aoa, your method of killing with a borrowed knife is really amazing. Fen Tian admired his disciple. In this way, no matter who won, he only needed to deal with one person. Master, according to the battle situation, the nebula dragon leopard should win if there are no accidents. He nodded. Fen Tian did not speak because he did not know what Aoa meant. Anyone with a discerning eye could tell that Bing Chen and the nebula dragon leopard were not on the same level at all. Master, I want you to subdue the nebula dragon leopard. Heh! Hearing Longao's words, Fen Tian was shocked, because subduing the nebula dragon leopard and killing it were two completely different things. Aoa, I believe you should know that even if I can subdue the nebula dragon leopard, even I won't be able to leave the star secret realm, let alone him. This was the biggest problem. Of course, Fen Tian also wanted to subdue the nebula dragon leopard. No matter what, with the nebula dragon leopard's strength and terrifying speed, once he subdued the nebula dragon leopard, he would be able to fight against a level 2 starry sky cultivator. How could Longao not think of what Fen Tian had thought of? If it were anyone else, they would not have been able to take away any of the starry sky god beasts or any of the starry sky cultivators. In any case, if he tried to forcibly take away a starry sky spirit beast or a starry sky cultivator, he would definitely be discovered by the divine mathematician. Except for his master. Master, you're already able to set up a starry sky formation. With your level of formation, it's more than enough to take away a starry sky spirit beast without anyone noticing. Next, Longao told him his plan. After hearing it, Fen Tian was extremely surprised. However, this method could only be used once, and he could only take away one starry sky spirit beast. Otherwise, he would definitely reap what he sowed. However, even so, it was enough. Just as the two of them were trying to figure out how to subdue the nebula dragon leopard and take it away. The battle between the nebula dragon leopard and Bing Chen had escalated to a white-hot stage. The winner and the loser seemed to have been decided. Bing Chen kept retreating, but the nebula dragon leopard was closing in on him. Nebula dragon leopard, I've decided to back out. Now. It was too late. Although the nebula dragon leopard did not say it out loud, it kept attacking. Its intention was very clear. It wanted to kill Bing Chen and monopolize the two starry sky Genling. At this point, even if he was willing to stop, would Longao be willing to hand over the two starry sky Genling? Nebula dragon leopard, even if I die, I won't let you have your way. Bing Chen knew that he would definitely die this time, and he was extremely unwilling. In this way, if he died, Longao and the nebula dragon leopard would benefit. Self-destruction. In the end, Bing Chen gritted his teeth and chose to self-destruct. However, would the nebula dragon leopard and Longao agree? The self-destruction of a level 2 starry sky cultivator was no small matter. Even the nebula dragon leopard would not dare to take it head-on. Master, do it. As soon as Longao finished speaking, Fen Tian had already activated the formation. The surrounding space was suppressed, directly restricting Bing Chen's strength and speed. Bing Chen, who was already retreating, finally had a huge change in expression. At this moment, Fen Tian, Longao, and the nebula dragon leopard were attacking him at the same time. Could he fight against 3 people at the same time? Longao, even if I die, I won't let you have an easy time. Here it comes again. Longao chose to ignore it. The reincarnation sword in his hand slashed out again and again. As for the nebula dragon leopard, the battle had already reached this stage. If Bing Chen chose to self-destruct, the consequences would be unimaginable. The 3 of them attacked with all their strength, and Bing Chen did not even have the chance to self-destruct. The Ice Spirit Clan's patriarch could be considered to be extremely tragic. But, due to the nebula dragon leopard and Fen Tian's restraint, Longao's reincarnation sword accurately pierced Bing Chen. The power of the reincarnation sword qi was extremely terrifying. Even Bing Chen's body was directly pierced, and he died, snatching Bing Chen's primordial spirit. Longao had already decided that after dealing with Bing Chen's primordial spirit, he would let Long Fu immediately start refining. This way, once he refined Bing Chen into a soul slave or corpse slave, even the clairvoyant would not be able to sense it. At that time, he would be able to openly take Bing Chen away. However, what happened in the end? The Nebula Dragon Leopard seemed to want Bing Chen's primordial spirit very much. It immediately attacked and snatched it. The two of them who had just joined forces to deal with Bing Chen suddenly started fighting. However, the Nebula Dragon Leopard's strength was obviously above the two of them. "Master, help me. Watch me." If they were outside, with the Nebula Dragon Leopard's strength, snatching away the primordial spirit would be an easy task. However, this was a spatial array, and it was Fen Tian's territory. Perhaps it was not a match for the Nebula Dragon Leopard, but when it came to snatching, it was within his own array. Fen Tian was full of confidence. With the help of the array, Fen Tian's speed soared to the extreme. Due to the restrictions of the array, the Nebula Dragon Leopard's speed was obviously reduced by a lot. With one fast and one slow, Fen Tian directly grabbed Bing Chen's primordial spirit in his hand and handed it over to Longao. Chapter 1838. Longao, hand over Bing Chen's essence spirit. Seeing that Longao had successfully obtained the essence spirit, the Nebula Dragon Leopard was enraged. Even though it could not devour the starry sky god personality, it could devour Bing Chen's energy. That would be a great help to its own strength. "Give it to you?" Lin Fan laughed coldly. "Nebula Dragon Leopard, Bing Chen's essence spirit was obtained by my master. Why should I give it to you? Endure." Suppressing the anger in its heart, the Nebula Dragon Leopard said furiously, "Longao, let's not talk about Bing Chen's essence spirit first. According to our previous agreement, as long as I kill 2 people, you will hand over 2 starry sky genling to me." Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Longao laughed out loud. Fen Tian, who was beside him, laughed out loud as well. "Longao, what are you laughing at?" The Nebula Dragon Leopard's face was extremely dark. It was as ugly as it could get. "According to our agreement, if you help me kill 2 people, I will give you 2 starry sky genling. But, did you do it?" "I didn't do it." To the Nebula Dragon Leopard, the other party was just trying to renege on the deal. If that was the case, he could only take action personally and kill the other party. Then, he could snatch away the 2 starry sky genling. "Nebula Dragon Leopard, do you have any shame? I was the one who killed Bing Chen, and yet you claim that you did it. I've seen shameless people, but I've never seen someone as shameless as you. Your shamelessness is disgusting. Are you trying to renege? Master, do it." He had succeeded in driving a wedge between the two of them. At the same time, he remembered that the Nebula Dragon Leopard had killed Bing Chen and Bing Ri. Even though Bing Ri's essence spirit had disappeared, Bing Chen's essence spirit was still around, and so was his corpse. As long as the essence spirit and corpse were not destroyed, with Long Fu's strength, he could create a strong starry sky corpse slave. Longao had thought about it. If a grade 8 starry sky soul slave could not leave the dragon seal space, then it could only stay by his side. If he could continue to create a grade 2 starry sky corpse slave, then he could guard the Dragon Valley. By then, who could threaten the Dragon Valley? Without any hesitation, Fen Tian immediately activated the space and began to attack the Nebula Dragon Leopard. Not only that, Xiling and Bai Ling also used their own sword qi. This way, even the Nebula Dragon Leopard would have to be careful. "Going back on your words, I'm going to tear you to shreds." The Nebula Dragon Leopard had never expected that Longao would go back on his word. In his opinion, as long as he killed the 2 of them, he would be able to intimidate the Longao with his strength. The result was, enraged, the Nebula Dragon Leopard did not hold back at all. Even now, it was still full of confidence. What about Longao? So what if he was a grade 1 starry sky cultivator? Starry sky array formations were nothing in his eyes. Arrogance killed people. Until now, Fen Tian still did not know what method Aoa had used to deal with the Nebula Dragon Leopard. It was still the same statement. With their strength alone, even with the help of the Starry Sky Formation, they were still no match for the Nebula Dragon Leopard. Even if he knew, it was impossible for Aoa not to know. Even Longao did not know how to deal with the Nebula Dragon Leopard. Xiling only asked him to act. As for how to deal with the Nebula Dragon Leopard, he did not specify. Xiling was still not going to make a move. At this moment, two terrifying sword chis shot out. Before Longao could react and did not know what Xiling and Bai Ling were going to do, Xiling's spiritual consciousness telepathy was transmitted to him. We can only maintain the soul slave suppression for 1 minute. After 1 minute, the Nebula Dragon Leopard must die. In an instant. Longao already understood what Xiling and Bai Ling meant. In the end, they wanted to borrow the power of the level 8 Starry Sky Soul Slave. Due to the difference in their realms, the Nebula Dragon Leopard was no match for the level 8 Starry Sky Soul Slave. As for maintaining it for 1 minute, the reason was simple. It was to isolate the Oracle's senses. He only had 1 minute. Time was of the essence. Longao did not hesitate and immediately used the power of the level 8 Starry Sky Soul Slave. In the next second, a terrifying Starry Sky Domain was released. Before the Nebula Dragon Leopard could react, it was already enveloped by the Starry Sky Domain. Starry Sky Domain? Level 8 Starry Sky Cultivator. Sensing the terrifying Starry Sky Domain released by the other party, the Nebula Dragon Leopard was completely stunned. It knew very well what the Starry Sky Domain meant. Only a level 8 Starry Sky Cultivator could truly condense the Starry Sky Domain. Within the Starry Sky Domain, a level 8 Starry Sky Cultivator was invincible. The Nebula Dragon Leopard did not expect the other party to be a level 8 Starry Sky Cultivator. If it had not seen it with its own eyes, it would have been unbelievable. Was this real? The level 8 Starry Sky Soul Slave said in an extremely cold voice, "Die, surrender. Die. Surrender." The Nebula Dragon Leopard was not a fool. Of course, it knew what the other party meant. Since things had already come to this, it had no choice. Of course, it did not want to die. Therefore, there was only one way to go, which was to surrender. However, it did not seem to be shameful to surrender to a level 8 Starry Sky Cultivator. It might even be able to leave this damned place. "Sir, I'm willing to surrender." Good. Fen Tian was also shocked. However, Longao had already said that time was of the essence. He had to deal with the Nebula Dragon Leopard within 30 seconds. Otherwise, he would not have the slightest chance. There was only one outcome, which was to kill the Nebula Dragon Leopard. Fen Tian definitely wanted to subdue the Nebula Dragon Leopard. "Sir, you've misunderstood. I'm only willing to surrender to you. As for the others, I. Before the Nebula Dragon Leopard could finish its words, a scream was heard. Longao only had 1 minute. How could he give the Nebula Dragon Leopard a chance to refute? He had already decided that as long as the 1 minute was up, regardless of whether the Nebula Dragon Leopard was willing to surrender or not, he could only kill the Nebula Dragon Leopard. He would not let any accidents happen. I'm willing. Please spare me, sir." In the next 30 seconds, Fen Tian and the Nebula Dragon Leopard signed a bloodline contract. However, it was Fen Tian's bloodline that suppressed the Nebula Dragon Leopard's bloodline. This kind of bloodline was different from other bloodline contracts. Even if the Nebula Dragon Leopard fell, Fen Tian would not be affected. After taking care of the Nebula Dragon Leopard, Fen Tian did not hesitate at all. He immediately borrowed the gloomy Nebula Dragon Leopard's aura from the array. Not only that, Long Fu also helped out. This way, the Nebula Dragon Leopard's aura and Fen Tian's aura had completely merged, as if it was a space god beast that was brought in from the outside. But even so, he still could not be discovered by the divine mathematician. Otherwise, no one knew if there would be any trouble. However, Longao and Fen Tian did not want to take this risk. What if the divine mathematician made a move? How would they deal with the divine mathematician? Chapter 1839. The starry sky formation disappeared. Fen Tian's face was filled with surprise, but the nebula dragon leopard was depressed. It thought that it would submit to a level 8 starry sky cultivator, but in the end, it only submitted to a level 1 starry sky cultivator. Its luck was really bad. You're not convinced? No, Master, I'm very convinced. The nebula dragon leopard obviously did not mean what it said, but because of the bloodline suppression, it could only be angry and not say anything. Otherwise, as long as Fen Tian was willing, it could be doomed at any time. We've wasted too much time. Let's leave this place quickly. He nodded. Longao and Fen Tian did not linger and entered the passage. With a flash of light, the two appeared in another small space. The second space was almost the same as the first space. It also had countless small spaces. Dragon leopard, do you know about this space? Shaking its head, the nebula dragon leopard said sadly, Master, we can't enter other spaces, so we don't know about the situation in other spaces. I see. However, Longao was very curious. Since the nebula dragon leopard could not enter other spaces without permission, then other people, or other starry sky mythical beasts, could not enter other spaces without permission. If that was the case, how did Mo Wudao enter other spaces? He could not figure it out. Longao did not ask the nebula dragon leopard because he knew very well that if he did not know, then the nebula dragon leopard would not know either. Zilei and the rest were also transported to this space, but they were not here. What should we do now? Let's find the passage first. Fen Tian did not object. The two of them did not look for Zilei and the rest first, but the passage first. Longao's intention was very simple. Under such circumstances, even if they found Zilei and the rest, they still had to find the passage. If that was the case, they might as well settle it once and for all. Longao and Fen Tian were very careful. They were very alert because they did not know what dangers existed in this space. If they took a wrong step, they might end up in the wrong place. Xiling and Bai Ling could isolate themselves once with the help of the starry sky array. Could they do it twice or thrice? If he did not borrow the power of a grade 8 starry sky soul slave, how would he deal with a grade 2 starry sky cultivator or a grade 2 starry sky god beast? Along the way, other than searching for the passage, Fen Tian did not waste a single minute and seized the time to stabilize his realm. A cultivator who had just stepped into grade 1 starry sky cultivator and a cultivator who had already stabilized their cultivation at grade 1 starry sky were two completely different concepts. If his cultivation could take another step forward and reach the peak of grade 1 starry sky cultivator, then Fen Tian had full confidence that he could use the array formation to kill a grade 2 starry sky cultivator. As for killing a peak grade 2 starry sky cultivator, that was unknown. He would only know after he tried. On the other hand, Longao was extremely depressed. His cultivation had already reached the half-step starry sky realm, and he only needed to comprehend the origin power to become a starry sky cultivator. But what was the result? There was something wrong with the source energy here. One could only look at it but not comprehend it. It was like a burly man who had been starving for 3 days and 3 nights only to see a pile of steamed buns and not be able to eat them. One could imagine how it would feel. As for the Tianwu continent, the source energy of the Tianwu continent had been completely sealed by the divine mathematician and the heavenly Tao. Even if he could leave the star-secret realm, it was almost impossible for him to comprehend his own source energy in the Tianwu continent. He could neither advance nor retreat. It was really a dilemma. Master, let's stop for a while. What's wrong? Fen Tian, who was hurrying on, suddenly heard Longao's words and was very curious. He did not know why they stopped for no reason. Could it be that there was danger? Master, something seems wrong. Fen Tian trusted Longao's senses and intuition. Because ever since they entered the star-secret realm, if it was not for Longao, they would have died many times. Dragon leopard, try to sense it. Yes, Master. Even if the nebula dragon leopard was unwilling, it could only sense it obediently. However, it could not sense anything at all and it looked very unhappy. Due to the suppression of the bloodline and the deterrence of a grade 8 starry sky cultivator, the nebula dragon leopard did not dare to act up. Something's wrong. Just when Longao thought that he had sensed wrongly, the nebula dragon leopard's shocked voice was heard. Dragon leopard, what happened? Master, I sensed the aura of the starry sky. It seems what? Looking at the nebula dragon leopard who wanted to speak but stopped, Fen Tian wanted to go up and slap it. At this time, the nebula dragon leopard was like a woman raising a child. Master, I seem to have sensed a lot of the aura of the starry sky, like an army of the starry sky. F***ck Longao was the first to react because the nebula dragon leopard would not lie unless it sensed wrongly. However, with the nebula dragon leopard's powerful strength, how could it sense wrongly? Master, let's go. It was already too late. Before Longao and Fen Tian could leave, there were already terrifying cries coming from all directions. In the next minute, the surroundings were dark and gloomy. Looking at the dark and gloomy surroundings, the nebula dragon leopard swallowed its saliva and roared in horror, Demon Scorpion Tribe, it's the Demon Scorpion Tribe. Tribesmen, let's get out of here. The Demon Scorpion was an extremely cruel demon beast. Although the surrounding demon scorpions were all Class 1 demon beasts, there were more than 10,000 of them. Looking at the dark and gloomy area made one's hair stand on end. There were more than 10,000 Class 1 demon beasts, and they were an extremely cruel race. Fen Tian and Longao cursed. It seemed that the two of them were really unlucky to have encountered such terrifying existences as soon as they stepped into this space. This was only the secondary space. If there was the tertiary space and the fourth space that they did not need to enter, what kind of dangers existed in the spaces after that? Longao finally understood why the restriction of the Star Secret Realm prevented them from entering the fourth space. Under such circumstances, it was unknown whether they could leave the secondary space alive. Taking 10,000 steps back, even if they could leave the secondary space and enter the tertiary space, would they be able to leave successfully? The secondary space was already so dangerous, not to mention the tertiary space. Just thinking about it made one feel a little desperate. Longao also knew why Tian Dao and Long Batian were the only ones who could leave the Star Secret Realm alive after so many years of countless people entering it. Such a test was a little abnormal. Even if it was him, one wrong step would lead to many wrong steps. Chapter 1840. The speed of the Demon Scorpion army was not fast, just slightly faster than ants. Even so, the Demon Scorpion army would arrive sooner or later. By then, how would they be able to leave under the siege of the Demon Scorpions? Solemn. The situation was critical. Dragon Leopard, is there any way to deal with this? Among the three of them, the Nebula Dragon Leopard was the strongest. The Nebula Dragon Leopard knew the severity of the situation. Even though his strength was way above the rest, it was hard for two fists to fight against four hands. If he were to be entangled by the Demon Scorpion army, only death would await him. Master, the natural enemies of the Demon Scorpions are rats and shelter. Based on my guess, if there are no accidents, there should be rats or geckos in this space. As long as we can find them, I believe we will be saved. Was there really hope? Even if they could use their natural enemies to deal with the Demon Scorpion army, what about the future? They had just left the wolf's den and entered the tiger's den. Looking coldly at the approaching Demon Scorpion army, Longao had already decided that if there was no other choice, he would bring his master into the Dragon Seal space even if he had to risk being discovered by the clairvoyant. The Demon Scorpion army was approaching slowly. The faces of Longao and Fen Tian were getting more and more serious. What should they do? As time passed, the Demon Scorpion army finally arrived beside the three of them. Without a doubt, the Demon Scorpion army attacked immediately. All of them were level 1 space heavenly beasts. With such a terrifying existence, even the level 2 space heavenly beast Nebula Dragon Leopard would not dare to be careless, let alone Fen Tian and Longao. Catcher, catcher, the Demon Scorpion army let out a series of ear-piercing sounds. Master, be careful. The Demon Scorpions are releasing their venom. Once touched, you will disappear instantly. Hearing the warning of the Nebula Dragon Leopard, both Fen Tian and Longao were shocked. Around them, all of the space demon scorpions spat out a green liquid. It seemed like this was the venom that the nebula dragon leopard had mentioned. Of course, Longao and Fen Tian did not dare to fight it head-on. They retreated continuously with fear. Life and death. Longao held onto the reincarnation sword and released the reincarnation sword chi, covering the three of them within. The reincarnation sword chi shield was indeed powerful. The venom of the surrounding demonic scorpions could not break the shield at all, let alone hurt the three of them. Fen Tian and the nebula dragon leopard heaved a long sigh of relief. We can't continue like this. There are tens of thousands of starry sky demon scorpions. I'm afraid it will be difficult for us to leave. How could Longao not know about his master's worries? The Supervoid divine equipment, Icefire 9-layered cauldron. At this point, Longao could only choose to use the power of the Icefire 9-fold cauldron. Fire and lightning were definitely the bane of the Star Devil scorpions. That was indeed the case. Incinerate 8 desolates and Icebound 10,000 Li. Longao executed Incinerate 8 desolates. Boundless flames were released from the Icefire 9-layered cauldron in Longao's hand. They were extremely fast, instantly spreading over a radius of over 1,000 meters. If Longao's cultivation could officially break through the starry sky realm, then he might be able to destroy the demon scorpion army with burning to desolation. But now, with Longao's strength and the power of the Icefire 9-layered cauldron, dealing with 1 or 2 starry sky devil scorpions was more than enough. However, the current situation wasn't just 1 or 2 starry sky devil scorpions, but thousands of them. Let me help you. Fen Tian and the nebula dragon leopard worked together and their power surged into Longao's body crazily. With their help, the power that Longao released from the burning to desolation increased by 3 times. Screams rang out one after another. Although the Star Devil scorpions were incomparably powerful, their intelligence was extremely low. In the vast starry sky, the Devil Scorpion race was considered to be the race with the lowest intelligence. Otherwise, even if Longao had the help of the 2 of them, he would not be able to rely on burning the 8 Desolation Destruction Devil Scorpions. Star Sky Devil Scorpions were destroyed one after another. Even so, continuing like this was not the way to go. Relying on burning to desolation, Longao slowly moved forward at an extremely fast speed. Master, let's go. Nodding their heads, Fen Tian and Longao quickly left. The Star Sky Demon Scorpions were extremely slow. How could they catch up to the 3 of them? Soon, they had shaken off the Star Sky Demon Scorpion army. We've finally shaken off the Star Sky Demon Scorpion army. The nebula dragon leopard's expression was extremely solemn as it said helplessly, Master, the Star Sky Demon Scorpions have a fatal weakness. Once they lock onto your aura, they will follow you forever until we die. The Star Sky Demon Scorpions are very slow and their reactions are slow as well. However, they will follow us endlessly, just like a vengeful spirit. So that was it. Longao had also realized that although the Star Sky Demon Scorpion army was a level 1 Star Sky Divine Beast, each Star Sky Demon Scorpion's reaction and strength were on the low side. They were even weaker than some Nirvana Rebirth martial artists. It was easy to deal with them. Just as the nebula dragon leopard had said, if the Star Sky Demon Scorpion army continued to follow the 3 of them, the consequences would be unimaginable. Dragon leopard, do you know how to completely shake off the Star Sky Demon Scorpion's pursuit? No, because as long as you are surrounded once, the Star Sky Demon Scorpion army will lock onto you. No matter where you run, the Star Sky Demon Scorpion army will find you. Because of this, although the Star Sky Demon Scorpion army is not very powerful, no one is willing to provoke them. Under such circumstances, of course, no one would provoke the Star Sky Demon Scorpion army. They would be hunted endlessly. In other words, no matter where the 3 of them went, they would have to be careful. If they were not careful, they would be attacked by the Star Sky Demon Scorpion army. They are coming. After shaking off the Star Sky Demon Scorpion army for less than 5 minutes, Longao discovered that the Star Sky Demon Scorpions were once again filled with shadows of the Star Sky Demon Scorpions. Their speed was very slow, but as time passed, There was no place that they could not reach. The Star Sky Demon Scorpion Army was not scary. What was scary was the Star Sky Demon Scorpion Army's relentless pursuit. Let's go. The three of them did not hesitate at all. They borrowed the power of the Icefire 9-layered cauldron again to shake off the Star Sky Demon Scorpion Army. However, this was not the way to go. They could do it once, twice, but what about the third, fourth, or fifth time? If they failed even once, then the three of them would be consigned to eternal damnation. What about Big Brother Purple Thunder and the others? Longao suddenly thought of Purple Thunder and the others. If he could run into the Star Sky Demon Scorpion Army, then Big Brother Purple Thunder and the others would probably run into them as well. Without refining the Star Sky Divine Spark, it was still unknown whether Purple Thunder and the others could withstand the Star Sky Demon Scorpion Army. If Purple Thunder and the others could not handle it, only death would await them. No matter what happened, they had to find Purple Thunder and the others in the shortest time possible. No one knew exactly how big the space was. Wanting to find Zlai and the others was also not an easy matter. Chapter 1841. Jian Tian, Murong Guena, Purple Thunder Ancestor, and Yi Tianhua. Until now, the four of them were still filled with guilt. At the end of the day, the four of them were afraid of death. They hoped that Brother Long was fine. Otherwise, they would feel guilty for the rest of their lives. The four of them were unsure if they were lucky. After entering the space, they did not encounter any danger. They did not even see the shadow of the space demon Scorpion. Even so, the four of them did not dare to be careless. No one knew what kind of danger would appear in the next second. It was better to be safe than sorry. What is that? Just as the four of them were moving forward slowly, looking for Longao and the passage. Suddenly, the situation changed. Countless gigantic black rats appeared in the surroundings, squeaking and squeaking. Space demon rats. The demon rat army that the Nebula Dragon Leopard mentioned was the nemesis of the Demon Scorpion Army. Everyone, let's go. The four of them sensed the sudden appearance of countless black rats. They were all level 1 space godly beasts. It was too scary. Not to mention the tens of thousands of starry sky demonic rats, even one of them could easily kill them. The four of them were shocked to the extreme. They could not figure out where these level 1 space godly beasts came from. They did not sense them at all. Brother Purple Thunder, let's go. Longao, who was trying his best to find Purple Thunder and the rest, suddenly saw a black mass. After the Nebula Dragon Leopard confirmed that the black rats were the nemesis of the Demon Scorpion Army. Originally, they wanted to fight poison with poison. They wanted to use the Demon Rat Army to deal with the Demon Scorpion Army. It would be best if both sides suffered. But the result? Longao suddenly saw Purple Thunder and the rest. He was overjoyed and did not dare to hesitate. He immediately brought Purple Thunder and the rest to leave. Seeing Longao and Purple Thunder and the rest were surprised. No one was willing to stay. The thousands of space demon rats were all space godly beasts. If they were surrounded, the consequences would be unimaginable. Longao knew clearly that the space demon rats were different from the space demon scorpion. Not only did the space demon rats have fast reflexes, but their attacks were also very powerful. Once they were surrounded, it would be extremely difficult to escape. Everyone was clear about this situation. Fight poison with poison. Brother Long, are we going to face the Devil Rat Army head-on? Seeing Longao suddenly stop, Purple Thunder and the others grew curious. They did not know what Longao wanted. I want to use the Space Devil Rat to deal with the Space Devil Scorpion. Zlai and the others might not know what was going on, but how could Fen Tian and the Nebula Dragon Leopard not know? About 10 minutes later, another black mass appeared in the surroundings. It was the Demon Scorpion Army that had rushed over. The Devil Rat Army, which was preparing to attack Longao and the others, was suddenly attacked by the Devil Scorpion Army behind them. In the blink of an eye, the two armies engaged in a fierce battle. The Demon Rat Army against the Demon Scorpion Army. We're finally saved. Watching the battle between the two sides, Longao finally let out a sigh of relief. As natural enemies, once the battle started, they would not stop until they fought to the death. "Brother Long, it's us." He waved his hand. Of course, Longao knew what Purple Thunder wanted to say. He smiled and said, "Friends are friends if they don't die with you. Let's find a way to leave this place as soon as possible." Now that everyone had obtained the Starry Sky Divine Deity, there was no point in staying any longer. Therefore, Longao had decided to leave this place as soon as possible. Enemies were bound to meet on a narrow road. About an hour after Longao left the place where the two sides were fighting. Xingkuan. Longao saw Xingkuan and the others, and Xingkuan and the others also saw Longao and the others. Both sides had broken off. If it were not for the fact that they were in the Star Secret Realm, both sides would have already fought. "Brother Fen Tian, congratulations." Xingkuan's congratulations were obviously insincere. Fen Tian's sudden breakthrough to become a Starry Sky Cultivator was really unexpected. Xingkuan and the others had all obtained the Starry Sky Divine Deity. Among them, the Wanshou ancestor had obtained the level 3 Starry Sky Divine Deity. As for Xingkuan, he had obtained the level 5 Starry Sky Divine Deity. Among the Starry Sky Divine Deities that everyone obtained, the level 5 Starry Sky Divine Deity was the strongest. That was also the case. Xingkuan could not wait to leave the Star Secret Realm. In that case, as long as his cultivation could break through to become a level 5 Starry Sky Cultivator, who would be his opponent in the Sky Martial Continent? "Brother Xingkuan, I congratulate you too." It was not a secret that everyone had obtained the Starry Sky Divine Deity. If it was outside, perhaps no one would know. However, in the Star Secret Realm, it would not be easy to hide it from everyone. "If I kill all of you now, I wonder if you still have the chance to become a level 5 Starry Sky Cultivator." Hearing Fen Tian's words, Xingkuan and the others' faces changed. If it was before, they would definitely not take Fen Tian's words seriously. However, the situation was completely different now. Fen Tian's cultivation had successfully broken through to the Starry Sky Realm. Who here could fight against Fen Tian? Not only that, the Nebula Dragon Leopard beside Fen Tian was also a level 2 Starry Sky Divine Beast. With one man and one beast working together, not to mention a level 1 Starry Sky Cultivator, even a level 2 Starry Sky Cultivator might not be a match for them. "Ha ha ha, are you afraid?" Fen Tian laughed mockingly and said with disdain, "Don't worry, I won't be as shameless as you. I won't attack you in the Star Secret Realm. As for leaving the Star Secret Realm, it's hard to say. You guys take care of yourselves." Fen Tian, Longao, and the others turned and left, leaving behind a gloomy Xingkuan and the others. Everyone knew very well that even if they had obtained the Starry Sky Divine Deity, as long as they did not refine it and break through to the Starry Sky Realm, it would be very difficult to deal with Fen Tian. A level 1 Starry Sky Cultivator and a level 2 Starry Sky Divine Beast. Such strength was terrifying just thinking about it. Xingkuan knew that what he needed the most now was time. As long as he could completely refine the level 5 Starry Sky Divine Deity and break through to the level 5 Starry Sky Cultivator, then even if Fen Tian became a level 4 Starry Sky Cultivator in the future, he would not have the slightest worry. "Xingkuan, what should we do now?" Everyone was afraid, because Fen Tian's words were very clear. Even if he did not make a move in the Star Secret Realm, if he left the Star Secret Realm and returned to the Sky Martial Continent, they believed that Fen Tian would eliminate the problem completely. Once Fen Tian attacked them all, how would they deal with it? After thinking about it, Xingkuan finally made a decision and said, "There's only one way now. We'll immediately find a place to cultivate and stop looking for the passage. According to the divine mathematician, as long as we persevere here, we'll automatically be teleported out." Since things had come to this point, this was the only choice. Chapter 1842. Everyone was clear about Xingkuan's intentions. Was there a choice? Things had already come to this point. Even if they were unwilling, they had no other choice. That was it. Xingkuan and the others did not continue forward. Instead, they found an extremely secluded and safe place to cultivate. Everyone had decided that no matter what happened, they would not take a step forward. Wait. Once the time was up, they would be transported out successfully. The clairvoyant had changed the time previously. In other words, from now on, as long as they were still alive, they would be transported out after a year. Brother Purple Thunder, Master, I have something to tell you. As the danger grew, Longao's expression became more and more solemn. Although there was only a year left, no one knew if they could leave the Star Secret Realm alive. The only way was to stay where they were and wait for a year to be transported out of the Star Secret Realm. Longao calculated the time. Once they left the Star Secret Realm in a year, there would only be 1 year left until the 3-year promise mentioned by the clairvoyant. If he could not break through to the Starry Sky Cultivator in the remaining 2 years, he would have to devour the Starry Sky Divine Spark. Otherwise, once the weak space was destroyed, countless Starry Sky Cultivators from the vast Starry Sky would swarm into the mainland. How could he deal with them with his current strength? Brother Long, what's the matter? Longao did not try to hide anything at all. He basically told Xiao Chen what he was thinking. You have all obtained the Starry Sky Divine Spark. If you continue like this, you will most likely die. In my opinion, it would be better for you to cultivate here. If nothing goes wrong, you should be able to reach the Starry Sky Realm in a year's time. I have no problem with that. Yi Tianhua was the first to agree. Yi Tianhua knew that it was already a good thing to be able to obtain the Starry Sky Divine Spark. There was no need to take the risk and continue. Following that, everyone expressed their agreement. Aoa, what about you? Are you going to continue or stop cultivating? Fen Tian knew Aoa's character well. I'm going to continue. This. Everyone was a little worried. However, since Longao had made up his mind, what else could they say? Be careful. We will wait for you outside. Okay. End the battle quickly. Longao didn't want to stay any longer, because it was much more convenient to do everything alone. The main reason Longao had chosen to continue forward was to find more Star Sky Divine Personas. That way, he would be able to feed more of them to the people of the Dragon Valley. The more powerful the Dragon Valley was, the more assured he would be. In the future, he would eventually leave the Martial Heaven continent and head to the Starry Sky. Once he left, what would happen to the Dragon Valley? It was precisely because of this that Longao was preparing to search for more Starry Sky Godheads and turn Dragon Valley into a Starry Sky sect. Other than that. Moreover, the most important point was that Xingkuan had obtained a Grade 5 Starry Sky Godhead. Once he refined it, he would become a Grade 5 Starry Sky Cultivator. At that time, even his master would not be able to compete with Xingkuan. Longao knew that he had to find a higher grade Starry Sky Godhead to restrain Xingkuan. Longao's intuition told him that Xingkuan and the others must have encountered some kind of opportunity. Otherwise, it would be impossible for all of them to obtain a Starry Sky Godhead at the same time. Moreover, the Myriad Beast's ancestor had obtained a Grade 3 Starry Sky Godhead, while Xingkuan had obtained a Grade 5 Starry Sky Godhead. Longao carefully continued forward, raising his vigilance to 120%. With every step, he had to be extra careful to sense the fluctuations around him. Starry Sky Godhead. Looking at the Starry Sky Godheads scattered in the cracks of the rocks not far away, Longao didn't hesitate and immediately headed for them. 2 Grade 1 Starry Sky Godheads. Longao was pleasantly surprised because obtaining 2 Grade 1 Starry Sky Godheads meant that the Dragon Valley would have 2 more Grade 1 Starry Sky Cultivators. The more Starry Sky Godheads he obtained, the more Starry Sky Cultivators there would be in 2 years. Longao. Just as Longao put away the 2 Grade 1 Starry Sky Godheads and was about to continue forward, an old man suddenly appeared in front of him. Master God Diviner. Seeing Master God Diviner suddenly appear in front of him, Longao was shocked to the extreme. According to the rules, Master God Diviner couldn't appear casually. Master God Diviner had never appeared before, but now he was the only one left. What was the meaning of this? Senior Master God Diviner, are you looking for me for something? Longao, since you're already half a step into the Starry Sky Realm, Why don't you take advantage of this opportunity to comprehend origin energy and break through to the starry sky realm? So it was because of this. Do you think I don't want to? I don't dare to comprehend origin energy. Speaking of this, Longao was extremely depressed. The instigator of this was Master God Diviner in front of him, the #1 expert of the Martial Heaven continent, the Starry Sky Domain Emperor. Senior Master God Diviner, my cultivation base has risen a bit too quickly, so I want to stabilize my current realm. Otherwise, even if I can comprehend origin energy and break through to the starry sky realm, it won't be very beneficial. Master God Diviner didn't seem to have the slightest doubt. He nodded and praised, "You're right. In the past, I wouldn't have the slightest objection to you doing this. But now, the situation has changed. I'm almost certain that in 2 years, the weak space will be destroyed. At that time, countless experts will enter the continent. Even if you can break through to the starry sky realm, it won't be of much use." What did that mean? Longao was a bit confused by Master God Diviner's words. Longao didn't say anything because he knew that Master God Diviner had something else to say. Otherwise, he wouldn't have come looking for him for no reason, especially in the starry sky secret realm. Longao, if you can break through to the starry sky realm now, then with your talent, you should be able to reach the 7th rank of the starry sky realm within 2 years. That way, even if the weak space is destroyed, you'll have the power to deal with it. Otherwise, whether you live or die will depend on your luck. After hearing this, Longao roughly understood Master God Diviner's meaning. It sounded like Master God Diviner had come looking for him for his own good. He couldn't find a reason to refuse. But could he comprehend origin energy himself? According to Xiling, there was a problem with the origin energy here. If he tried to comprehend it himself and break through to the starry sky realm, he would definitely be controlled by Master God Diviner in the future. That would not only bring him no benefits, but he would also be doomed eternally. P.S. If you have a vote, please vote for Longao. Little 9 thanks you. Chapter 1843. Longao, are you still unwilling? Master, promise him. Promise. Or not? Just when Longao was in a dilemma and didn't know what to do, Long Fu's voice suddenly appeared in his mind. Longao knew very well that Long Fu would not harm him. He nodded. Senior marvelous mathematician, in this case, I will try my best to comprehend the origin power and strive to break through to the starry sky cultivator realm as soon as possible. He seemed to be very satisfied. I have arranged a place for you to comprehend. Let's go. Before Longao could react, he had already found himself enveloped by a terrifying starry sky domain. The next second, Longao had already appeared in a huge cave with marvelous mathematician. The cave was very smooth and dark. He looked shocked. This was because Longao could clearly sense that the origin energy in the cave was countless times stronger than the origin energy outside. It was just like mist and water. Longao, in the following time, you will comprehend the origin power here. As for the test, you can continue when your cultivation breaks through to the starry sky cultivator realm. Before Longao could speak, marvelous mathematician had already turned around and left, disappearing directly in the cave. Long Fu, what should I do now? Longao knew very well that if Long Fu had no other way, he would definitely not let him agree casually. Master, I have a way to purify the origin power here. Sure enough. Longao asked curiously, Long Fu, since you have a way, why didn't you tell me earlier? Master, I have always wanted you to stabilize your realm and wait until a year later to help you break through to the starry sky cultivator realm. But marvelous mathematician has already done this. If you don't break through, I am afraid that he will harm you. I see. In this case, Longao had no other choice. That was it. Longao sat on the ground and began to comprehend the origin energy in the surroundings quietly. He left the task of refining the origin energy to Long Fu. According to Longao's estimation, it would take at least a month to comprehend the power of origin from the outside. However, in this place, this time could be shortened by hundreds of times. In other words, with Longao's talent and situation, It would only take him a day at most to comprehend the origin strength and break through to the starry sky cultivator realm. This is the origin energy. With the help of the origin energy in the cave, Longao successfully comprehended his own origin energy in his dantian in less than 6 hours. It did not have any attributes. The origin power he had comprehended on his own and the godhood he had devoured were two completely different things. For example, out of 100 starry sky martial artists, only 20% of them would choose to comprehend the origin force on their own. The rest would choose to devour the starry sky godhead. For a long time, Longao insisted on comprehending the origin force on his own. He would rather die than inherit the starry sky inheritance and devour the starry sky godhead. It turns out that it is so easy to comprehend the origin force and become a starry sky cultivator. I really did not expect it. Until this moment, Longao was a little dumbfounded. Because in less than a few hours, he not only comprehended his own origin force, but his cultivation had also gone a step further and reached the starry sky cultivator realm. Although it was only a difference of 1 rank, in Longao's view, it was the difference between heaven and earth. Before, he had to rely on various trump cards to barely kill a grade 1 starry sky cultivator, but now, he almost did not need to. Not to mention an ordinary grade 1 starry sky cultivator, even if he faced a peak grade 1 cultivator, Longao had full confidence that he could kill the other party completely. Master, you have already broken through to the starry sky cultivator realm, so you can start now. Even if you have a chance to continue to break through, you must limit it. Otherwise, the consequences will be unimaginable. How could Longao not know Long Fu's worries? His cultivation speed was too fast. Longao didn't know that if it was someone else, it would be almost impossible for them to comprehend the origin power in such a short period of time. Not only was it impossible, but it was also a pipe dream. Otherwise, every plane would be full of starry sky cultivators. Ha ha ha. Longao, you didn't disappoint me. You've already comprehended the origin force and become a starry sky cultivator in only a few hours. Hardly had the voice faded away when the marvelous mathematician appeared. Thank you, Senior. Longao sincerely expressed his gratitude. If the marvelous mathematician hadn't found this place for him, where the origin force was hundreds of times more intense than outside, he wouldn't have been able to comprehend the origin force in such a short time, let alone break through to the starry sky state. The secondary space ended early. If you can pass the tertiary space smoothly, you can become one of my men. When you become a starry sky domain lord, I'll let you enter the 4th space and beyond. Thank you, Senior. Longao could almost guess that there would be a lot of treasures beyond the 4th space. If that were the case, even the Heavenly Path and Long Batian wouldn't be qualified to enter the spaces beyond the 4th space. You'll be rewarded if you can pass the tertiary space. Do your best. After saying that, the godly mathematician's figure disappeared without a trace. Longao shrugged helplessly. It might be a good thing for other people to end the secondary space early, but it might not be a good thing for him. The secondary space was full of dangers, but there were also a lot of star-state divine sparks. Fortunately, he had the tertiary space, which was far more dangerous than the secondary space. Also, the star-state divine sparks were of a higher level and number. Under normal circumstances, Longao would have to find an exit on his own if he wanted to enter the tertiary space. However, before Longao realized what was going on, his body had been enshrouded in light and he disappeared from the cave. In the outer sea of the Crystal Palace, Longao is not simple. Long Batian was rather confused by the unexpected remark. He didn't know what the marvelous mathematician meant. Master Marvelous Mathematician, what do you mean? I don't mean anything else. If Longao can pass the tertiary space smoothly, he'll be qualified to receive my legacy. As for you, the Heavenly Path, and Longao, it'll depend on yourselves. Longao's talent and potential are good, but his performance in space will depend on him. I hope he doesn't disappoint me, otherwise, Long Batian knew exactly what the marvelous mathematician was implying. He secretly heaved a sigh. After all, the Heavenly Path, as well as Longao, were all the marvelous mathematician's pawns. Chapter 1844. If he wanted to get rid of his identity as a chess piece, he had to be extremely strong. 2 years later, the calamity will descend. At that time, it will be your last chance. Got it? He still had 2 years. In the tertiary space, Longao had been teleported to the tertiary space of the star mysterious realm. He still didn't know what was in there. Was the tertiary space the same as the secondary space? Both the primary space and the secondary space were divided into smaller spaces. If that was really the case in the tertiary space, it would be a real pain in the ass. Star divine sparks. There were a bunch of them. Longao couldn't have been more shocked when he saw the pile of star divine sparks in front of him. Longao found that he had 40 level 1 star divine sparks, 26 level 2 star divine sparks, 18 level 3 star divine sparks, and 4 level 4 star divine sparks. Not only that, there were even dozens of starry sky divine artifacts in his possession. As he expected, the number of star divine sparks and star divine artifacts in the tertiary space was far greater than in the secondary space and the primary space. There were endless surprises. After storing all the star divine sparks and star divine artifacts in the dragon seal space, Longao moved forward, ready to find a way to leave the tertiary space. That was also the final test. As long as he could leave the tertiary space, it would mean that he would be able to leave the star mysterious realm without a hitch. The sooner he handed over the star divine spark to the people of the Dragon Valley, the sooner the Dragon Valley would become stronger. Longao, there's only one test in the tertiary space, which is to go to the center of the space, where the exit of the tertiary space is located. Longao didn't feel relieved at all after hearing Master Godly Mathematician's voice. Instead, he became even more solemn. Although the tertiary space wasn't divided into countless smaller spaces, Longao knew very well that it was far more dangerous than the previous 2 spaces. It sounded easy, but it wasn't easy to reach the center of the space. He shrugged helplessly. Even if he didn't want to, he had to accept it. Longao didn't know how large the space was, how far he was from the center, or how dangerous it would be. He knew absolutely nothing. Boy, it's hard to believe that you can enter the tertiary space. You're not bad. Who is it? Seeing that no one spoke, Longao's expression finally changed. Who is it? Under Longao's shocked gaze, an old man with a hunchback and white hair suddenly appeared in front of him. Peak Grade 1 Starry Sky Cultivator. Sensing the other party's strength, Longao finally breathed a sigh of relief. He might not be able to deal with Grade 2 or above Starry Sky Cultivators, but he did not put Grade 1 Starry Sky Cultivators in his eyes. You can't stop me. Really? The old man had a smile on his face. If it weren't for the aura he released, which indicated that he was a starry sky cultivator, no one would have believed that such a hunchbacked old man could be so powerful. Take the initiative to attack. He didn't know why, but a bad premonition instantly filled his heart. Longao immediately put away his contempt and made the first move. He took a big stride forward and rushed out. Before the person arrived, the terrifying power of the starry sky was already suppressing them. You overestimate yourself. Just when Longao was about to get close, the hunchbacked old man, who had not made a move, suddenly burst out with the power of the starry sky. The 2 forces of the starry sky collided with each other, and Longao, who was full of confidence, was directly sent flying like a kite with a broken string. He was completely shocked. You're not human? Ha ha ha, yes, this old man is indeed not human. Boy, you refined the black tortoise. Today I will also refine you. Black tortoise? Divine beast black tortoise? Hearing the other party's words, Longao's heart thumped. He was not a fool. What did the other party mean? Was the other party also a divine beast black tortoise? Divine beast black tortoise? You already guessed it. Why talk nonsense? He had already refined the black tortoise armor, and the other party was a divine beast black tortoise, the ancestor of the black tortoise clan. How could he easily give up? Therefore, this battle was unavoidable, either you die or I die. Longao's guess was right. The hunchbacked old man in front of him was a divine beast black tortoise. Not only was its defensive power known as the most abnormal in the vast starry sky, but its strength was also not to be underestimated. In the countless plains, all the black tortoises were the same race. Because of this, when the hunchbacked old man sensed that Longao had refined one of his clansmen, how could he not be angry? Just by you? You want to win against me? His face was full of ridicule. Although they were both grade 1 starry sky cultivators, the hunchbacked old man's strength was obviously above Longao's, especially in terms of physical defense. The two were not on the same level. Almost without trying, Longao already knew that he could not beat the other party in close combat. If there were no accidents, with the other party's physical defense, not to mention himself, even a grade 2 starry sky cultivator would not be able to break the other party's defense. Of all the people he could have met, he just had to meet a divine beast black tortoise. This time, Longao did not take the initiative to attack, but the hunchbacked old man had already attacked. As Longao had guessed, he could not compete with the other party in terms of physical combat. Being attacked continuously, Longao's physical defense was strong enough. Otherwise, if it were someone else, they would have died long ago. Without the slightest surprise, the hunchbacked old man smiled, as if he was playing a game of cat and mouse. He was not in a hurry at all. In his view, victory was already in his hands, and killing the other party was only a matter of time. The Samsara sword used the 36 Samsara styles, the first style Samsara 9 kill, the second style Samsara chaotic dance, the third style Samsara mad dance, and the fourth style Samsara 10,000 feet rainbow. The four styles combined directly to avoid the hunchbacked old man. Even so, he still could not compete with the hunchbacked old man. After all, the hunchbacked old man was a divine beast black tortoise. What should he do? It seemed that he could only use the ultimate sword move, the Samsara 5th style. Since his cultivation broke through to grade 1 starry sky cultivator, Longao could use the starry sky 5th style. As for the 36 Samsara styles, only the 5th style could be considered the real starry sky sword art. Originally, Longao did not want to use it. After all, there were still unknown dangers ahead. However, the situation was so critical that he could only take one step at a time and deal with the starry sky black tortoise in front of him first. The 5th style of the 36 Samsara styles, Samsara Meteorite Explosion, was the first sword move of the starry sky sword art. As for its power, even Longao did not know. P.S. Today, all 5 chapters have been delivered. These days, only 5 chapters will be updated. Little 9 will strive for a small explosion tomorrow. 7 chapters will be updated. Chapter 1845. The 5th style of reincarnation, Reincarnation Meteor Explosion. The reincarnation sword shot out streams of reincarnation sword chi like thunder. Boom, boom, boom. The reincarnation sword chi exploded like a volcano erupting. Even the hunchbacked old man was taken aback. He did not know why the other party's sword move was so powerful. Could it be that the other party was pretending to be weak? At the thought of this, the hunchbacked old man used his strongest move as well. In fact, the hunchbacked old man did not take Longao seriously at all. Even if his moves were not as good as the other parties, his physical defense was superior. Even a level 2 starry sky cultivator would not be able to break through his physical defense. Boom. His move was broken. This is not good. The other party's sword move was too powerful. Even the hunchbacked old man's strongest fighter could not withstand the reincarnation meteor explosion. A head-on clash. The hunchbacked old man did not believe that the other party's sword move could break through his physical defense. It was simply a joke. Trying to take it head-on? How could Longao not know what the hunchbacked old man was thinking? Since that was the case, let's see if the other party's physical defense was stronger or if his 5th style of reincarnation meteor explosion was stronger. Longao was also confident that his reincarnation meteor explosion could break the other party's physical defense. Black tortoise? It depended on who the other party was. If it was any other starry sky cultivator, even a level 2 starry sky cultivator might not be able to break through the black tortoise's physical defense. But now, the black tortoise was up against him. Holding the reincarnation sword, Longao used the fifth style of reincarnation, reincarnation meteor explosion. The strongest sword move clashed with the strongest defense. Boom! The reincarnation sword chi hit the hunchbacked old man hard. The reincarnation sword chi alone could not break through the black tortoise's physical defense. But the result? The moment the reincarnation sword chi touched the hunchbacked old man's body, it exploded. Its power had increased by 3 times. What did that mean? Before the hunchbacked old man could react, his entire body was sent flying before falling heavily to the ground. If it weren't for the fact that his fleshly body possessed a formidable defensive power, the hunchbacked old man would have died. Even so, the hunchbacked old man's fleshly body's defensive power had already started to crack. A grade 1 starry sky cultivator actually managed to break through his fleshly body's defensive power. Was this for real? Unable to believe it, the hunchbacked old man's expression changed again and again, becoming extremely gloomy and unsightly. "You're good." Even Longao was surprised when he saw that he had just broken through the hunchbacked old man's physical defenses. The fifth move of reincarnation, reincarnation meteorite explosion, was really powerful. This was only the fifth move of the 36 moves of reincarnation. It was easy to imagine how terrifying the power of the remaining 31 moves would be. Longao was looking forward to the next 31 moves of the Samsara sword. "You lost." Without giving the hunchbacked old man a chance to speak, Longao continued, "Seeing that you are a black tortoise, I won't kill you as long as you step aside." "Ha ha ha, kid, do you think you've won?" In the next second, the hunchbacked old man, who had just been knocked down, suddenly stood up. His face was filled with endless sneers and ridicule. If it wasn't good, he would have told Longao that the other party definitely had another move. He couldn't be soft-hearted, otherwise, there would be endless trouble. Being kind to the enemy was being cruel to himself. However, it was too late for regrets. The hunchbacked old man's body suddenly began to expand. In a few seconds, the hunchbacked old man had turned into a black tortoise that was laughing as loudly as Longao. The black tortoise's true form. In this case, the hunchbacked old man's physical defenses had increased by another level. "I'll show you the power of the Black Tortoise Divine Fist." Black Tortoise Divine Fist. What kind of move was this? He had never heard of it before. However, the black tortoise in front of him was a divine beast of the starry sky after all. It was definitely far superior to ordinary black tortoises. In the next second, the black tortoise turned into countless fist shadows and smashed towards Longao. The fist shadows were too dense and there were too many of them. It seemed impossible to dodge even if he wanted to. Longao could feel the power of the black tortoise's countless fist shadows. The black tortoise's true form could only be described with one word: terrifying. The fifth style of reincarnation, reincarnation meteorite explosion. Longao didn't dare to be careless. The reincarnation sword in his hand slashed out one after another. The reincarnation sword chi started to explode continuously. Reincarnation meteorite explosion versus true form fist shadows. Even Longao and the hunchbacked old man didn't know who was stronger. True form fist shadows was the hunchbacked old man's strongest move. Reincarnation meteorite explosion was also Longao's strongest sword move. Once they lost, it meant that they had fallen. Both the hunchbacked old man and Longao were very clear about this point in their hearts. Time shorekill technique, time lock and time crush. Longao was not confident that he could kill his opponent with the help of the Samsara meteorite explosion. Hence, he could only use his other shorekill technique, which was the time shorekill technique. When the two time techniques were used, the expression of the hunchbacked old man, who had been full of confidence, suddenly changed. Time martial technique. This is a time martial skill. Impossible. This is impossible. How can you have a time martial skill? Our hunchbacked old man went completely crazy because he was very clear on what a time martial skill meant. There were countless martial skills in the vast starry sky. However, among all the martial skills, the time martial skill was the most powerful and mysterious martial skill. Under normal circumstances, No one could obtain the time martial skill, not even the Starry Sky region emperor. It was precisely because of this that the hunchbacked old man had never thought that Lin Fan would possess a time martial skill. Furthermore, he was able to sense that the time martial skill Lin Fan had used was a top-notch existence among the numerous time martial skills. Not daring to be careless, he immediately drew out a portion of his strength to deal with the time martial technique. In this way, the strength of the countless fist shadows that his body had turned into instantly weakened by a lot. The opportunity had come. How could Longao let go of such a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? He used reincarnation meteorite explosion and time shorekill technique to attack the black tortoise fiercely. The black tortoise might be able to block 1 move, 2 moves, and 3 moves, but what about the 3rd and 4th? Even with the black tortoise's physical defense, the black tortoise was barely able to withstand the continuous attacks. Even so, Longao was still barely able to kill the hunchbacked old man with reincarnation meteorite explosion and time shorekill technique. This was enough to show how strong the hunchbacked old man's physical defense was. Even Longao found it hard to believe. Chapter 1846. What a powerful black tortoise. Let's see how strong you are. The ice and fire 9-layered cauldron appeared in his hand, and 2 terrifying powers were unleashed. They were burning everything and freezing everything within 10,000 kilometers. Longao had officially become a star-state cultivator, so the ice and fire 9-layered cauldron was much more powerful. If the hunchbacked old man had been in his prime, the ice and fire 9-layered cauldron would have been able to ignore him. But now, the black tortoise's body had already begun to be burned and frozen while it screamed. Looking at the corpse on the ground, Longao finally heaved a sigh of relief. The ice and fire 9-layered cauldron was powerful enough to destroy the black tortoise's body and even its soul. Even if Longao wanted to make a soul slave or a corpse slave, it would be impossible for him to do so. The more unlikely it was, the more worried Longao became. He had only just entered the tertiary space, and he had already encountered such a powerful enemy. It was hard to imagine what kind of dangers he would encounter if he kept moving forward. There was nothing he could do. Things had already progressed to this point, he could only take 1 step at a time. His destination was the center of the space. The black tortoise, which had died, suddenly stood up again after Longao left. The hunchbacked old man sneered and mumbled to himself, "I swallowed the phoenix's body. Not only is my body strong, but I'm also immortal. You want to kill me? Humph." The hunchbacked old man was quite wary of Longao. He would have been killed if he hadn't swallowed the phoenix's body. How should he deal with him? Ha ha ha. I don't believe that you can escape from the ancestral patriarch of hell. Longao knew nothing about the hunchbacked old man's rebirth. Under such circumstances, he had to get to the center of the space as quickly as possible. The sooner he left the star-secret realm, the better it would be for him. About an hour later, the space suddenly became dark, and there was a pungent smell in the air. Longao, who was hurrying on his way, suddenly stopped. He had sensed that something was wrong. He looked around vigilantly. "Brat, how have you been?" Looking at the 2 people in front of him, especially the hunchbacked old man on the left, Longao looked as if he had seen a ghost. His face was filled with shock and disbelief. Wasn't the hunchbacked old man dead? Since that was the case, why would he appear here? What exactly happened? Are you surprised? The hunchbacked old man smiled. His smile was very treacherous. Hell's old ancestor, this person not only has time martial skills, but also many treasures. Hell's old ancestor? Standing beside the hunchbacked old man was a coquettish teenager, a grade 2 starry sky cultivator. Longao had learned that neither the secondary space nor the tertiary space had strict limits on the level of the star-state cultivators. For example, it was very likely that level 2 star-state cultivators would appear in the secondary space, and level 1 star-state cultivators would appear in the tertiary space as well. However, it had to be admitted that the tertiary space was much more dangerous than the secondary space. The grudges between us have nothing to do with you. Leave this place. Even in the face of a level 2 star-state cultivator, Longao didn't have the slightest fear. He was neither servile nor overbearing. However, Longao knew very well that he was no match for a level 2 star state cultivator, even if he used all his killing moves. Ha ha ha, brat, I have to say that I admire your courage. There was a hint of disdain on the old man's coquettish face. He continued, hand over the time martial skills and all your treasures, and I'll let you die with a whole body. Otherwise, the old man didn't finish his words, but his meaning was very clear. Longao already knew that the hunchbacked old man was hiding the truth from him. He wanted to kill him with a borrowed knife. The samsara sword appeared in his hand. Longao looked at the two people in front of him coldly and said, if you want to fight, let's fight. There's no need to talk nonsense. Ha ha ha, well, since you're not afraid of death, I'll fulfill your wish. Black Tortoise, you go. CK cursing in his heart, the hunchbacked old man said without confidence, old ancestor of hell, with my strength, I'm no match for him. Otherwise, I wouldn't have almost died before. If he could kill his opponent, why would he need to borrow a knife to kill him? He didn't know whether the old man was crazy or he didn't hear it clearly. I'm just joking with you. You're just a little human cultivator, and you're defeated like this. What a disgrace. Ignoring the old man's ridicule, although there was a difference in strength between the old man and the old man, it wouldn't be easy for the old man to defeat the black tortoise and break its physical defense. Brat, I want to see you today. Before the old man could finish his words, Longao slashed out with the samsara sword in his hand. The fifth move of the samsara sword, Samsara Meteor Explosion. The terrifying samsara sword chi directly exploded. Even the old man was shocked. Putting away his contempt, the old man's body suddenly disappeared and turned into darkness. His speed was very fast, as if he had merged with the darkness of the world. He was shocked. What kind of divine beast is this? I've never seen such a thing before. Before Longao could react, the old man was already in front of him. He sneered and said eerily, Brat, are you afraid? Afraid of your sister? The samsara sword in his hand slashed out fiercely. Not only that, the old man's time shorekill skill started to confine the surrounding space. Poochie. Longao was attacked by the power of darkness, and he didn't even have the chance to fight back. Until now, Longao still couldn't guess what kind of divine beast the old man was. This kind of divine ability was too powerful. Whether it was an ordinary divine beast or a space divine beast, some divine beasts were born with innate divine abilities. In other words, the attack that the Hell's old ancestor had just used was a so-called innate divine ability, similar to his own innate divine ability, Dragon Roar. Big brother, I'm here to help you. Suddenly hearing the voice of Long Ming, Longao's heart moved. For so long, in order to ensure the breakthrough of Long Ming and Long Qiong, he hadn't summoned the two little guys. However, as his cultivation smoothly broke through to the Starry Sky cultivator, whether it was Long Qiong or Long Ming, their cultivation also smoothly reached the Starry Sky Divine Beast realm. If it were other people or divine beasts, it would be impossible for them to do this. As for why Longao could do this, even he himself didn't know. It was the same every time. His cultivation improved, so did the cultivation of the two little guys. Anyway, it was a good thing. Chapter 1847. You can fight against the Hell Ancestor? Even if Long Ming's cultivation had broken through the first level of the Star Sky Divine Beast, it seemed impossible for him to deal with a second-level Star Sky Divine Beast. However, Longao knew very well that Long Ming would never shoot arrows for no reason if he wasn't confident. Did Long Ming really have a way to deal with the Hell Ancestor? In the next second, a tiger roar sounded, and a 3-meter-long black tiger suddenly appeared. It was Long Ming, Star Sky Divine Beast. Looking at the huge black tiger in front of them, both the hunchbacked old man and the Hell Ancestor seemed a little surprised. Long Ming's power was the power of darkness, which was almost exactly the same as the Hell Ancestor's. The two powers of darkness fiercely supported each other. Due to the difference in realm, Long Ming was no match for the Hell Ancestor. Longao didn't sit still and wait for death. The reincarnation sword in his hand fiercely attacked. The reincarnation meteor explosion directly exploded. 1 against 2. Under normal circumstances, 2 first-level star sky cultivators couldn't be a match for a second-level star sky cultivator. But the situation was completely different now. Although Long Ming's cultivation wasn't as high as the Hell Ancestors, his bloodline was above the latter's. This was the real reason why Long Ming was so confident that he could defeat the Hell Ancestor. The suppression of bloodline could completely make up for the difference in realm. You. The Hell Ancestor had already sensed the suppression of his opponent's bloodline. He said the word you 3 times and directly turned around to leave. After a while, he disappeared without a trace. Big brother, don't try to chase him. I can only drive the Hell Ancestor away, but I can't kill him. His strength is a bit terrifying. I understand. From the beginning to the end, Longao didn't intend to chase him. He only had one goal, and that was to rush to the center of the space as fast as possible. As for the Hell Ancestor, he was part of the test. If everyone wanted to take revenge, he would have to kill everyone in the 3 spaces. Was it possible? It was almost impossible. Black Tortoise Divine Beast, your helper has run away. I didn't kill you last time, but this time, guess if you can leave alive. Guess. Longao could be considered shameless. The hunchbacked old man's face grew darker and darker as he looked at the disappearing Hell's Ancestor. Brat, we'll meet again someday. You want to leave? He could let the Hell's Patriarch go, but he couldn't let the Black Tortoise go. Longao teleported and disappeared from the spot. In the next second, he was in front of the Black Tortoise. Chuckling, Longao didn't give the hunchbacked old man the slightest chance to speak. He had already begun his attack. This time, Longao, Long Qiong, and Long Ming joined forces and killed the Black Tortoise in just a few seconds. It's hard to imagine how the Black Tortoise was reborn. Even now, Longao still couldn't figure it out. Long Fu, is there a way to refine the Black Tortoise into a corpse slave? The Black Tortoise had an immortal body. If he could refine it into a corpse slave, it would be of great help to him. No. Why is that? Longao was very curious. Ever since he learned that Long Fu could refine soul slaves or corpse slaves, he didn't seem to say that he couldn't do it. Even an 8th-level Starry Sky cultivator could be refined into a soul slave. There was also Bing Chen. He believed that it wouldn't be long before he could refine him into a corpse slave. Why couldn't he refine the Black Tortoise until now? He was depressed to the extreme. Master, the Black Tortoise's situation is a bit special. I can't explain it to you clearly, but if you can't refine it into a corpse slave, Master, there is only one way to completely destroy the Black Tortoise. What way? Since he couldn't refine it, he had to destroy it completely. Although he was a little unwilling, Longao trusted Long Fu. Since Long Fu said no, Long Fu must have his reasons. Otherwise, Long Fu would have no reason to not refine him into a corpse slave. It's very simple. Crush it with the help of time. Longao had a general idea of what Long Fu meant. Without any hesitation, he simply used Time Crush. The next second, the Black Tortoise's body was cut up and erased by the surrounding time. Although he had let the Hell's Old Ancestor go, Longao was still very careful because no one knew if the Hell's Old Ancestor would attack him secretly like the Black Tortoise. If that was the case, then it would be a very troublesome matter. However, Longao's worries were unnecessary, because the Patriarch of Hell didn't show up after a day and a night, nor did any other dangers. The calmer it was, the more Longao didn't dare to lower his guard. He was in the star mysterious realm after all, and would be doomed if he was careless. One day and one night passed in the blink of an eye. There were rocks of different heights everywhere. Ever since he found the Star Divine Spark in the tertiary space, he hadn't found another Star Divine Spark for a day and a night. His cultivation base had successfully broken through to the Starry Sky cultivator realm. Longao was very clear that he was now fully capable of cultivating Starry Sky martial skills. Even if it was a high-level Starry Sky martial skill, he would still be able to do so. Master, don't try to practice any Star Divine artifacts or Star martial arts you get. I have a lot of Star martial arts, but you can give them to your family. Longao nodded. He had never intended to cultivate any Starry Sky martial techniques. As for the Starry Sky divine tools, he already had the reincarnation sword. He would never use the other Starry Sky divine tools unless they were suitable for him. Because he knew very well that if he forcibly used a Starry Sky divine tool that was not suitable for him, not only would it not have the corresponding power, it would also limit his strength. Long Fu, I've successfully become a star cultivator. Do you have any star martial arts that are suitable for me? He already had the reincarnation sword, so he didn't need any star divine artifacts for the time being. As for star martial arts, he couldn't wait to get them. Master, you've just become a star cultivator. I've already chosen a star martial arts technique for you, the destructive palm. Huh? The destructive palm? Without waiting for Longao to speak, Long Fu continued, Master, the absolute kill extermination palm that I taught you before, although it can be upgraded continuously, it does not have the cultivation method after that. Now, I will teach you the complete set. As your strength continues to improve, I believe that the absolute kill extermination palm will also continue to upgrade. Moreover, Master, your cultivation has already reached the Starry Sky cultivator. Chapter 1848. So that's how it was. In the following time, Longao did not continue on his journey. Instead, he stayed where he was and allowed Long Fu to teach him the complete set of the Annihilation Palm. Just as Long Fu had said, as his cultivation base broke through to the Starry Sky realm, the power of the Annihilation Palm had more than doubled. The Tianwu continent, the 9 heavens. At the peak of the clouds, Tiandao's figure suddenly appeared, his face full of unwillingness and helplessness. In the end, I still haven't broken through to the Starry Sky Domain Emperor realm. He heaved a heavy sigh. Although he had successfully broken through to the Starry Sky Domain Lord realm and was considered an overlord in the vast Starry Sky, there were still many people he couldn't provoke, including the God Diviner. The difference between a Starry Sky Domain Emperor and a Starry Sky Domain Lord was too great. Tiandao, you're back. Yes. Come with me. Without the slightest hesitation, Tiandao took a step forward and arrived outside the Crystal Palace. This speed was even faster than Longao's teleportation. Within the Crystal Palace, Tiandao, Long Batian, and the God Diviner were the 3 strongest Starry Sky realm cultivators on the Tianwu continent. Tiandao, in 2 years, the weak space will be destroyed and a calamity will descend. At that time, you and Batian can enter the 4th space of the Starry Sky secret realm. As for whether you can get what you want, it's up to you. Neither the God Diviner nor Long Batian managed to kick Longao. The 2 of them were very clear about the character of the Heavenly Tao. Once the Heavenly Tao found out about Longao, there was no doubt that the Heavenly Tao would definitely make a move to kill Longao. God Diviner, you said before that if you want to enter the 4th space of the Starry Sky secret realm, you have to break through to the Starry Sky Domain Lord realm. The God Diviner's meaning was very clear. Only he was qualified to enter the 4th space of the Starry Sky secret realm, while Long Batian didn't have the qualifications. After all, Long Batian's cultivation base hadn't broken through to the Starry Sky Domain Lord realm. Long Batian wasn't angry at all. So what if he was angry? It was pointless. Long Batian knew very well that whether he could enter the 4th space of the Star Secret Realm was not up to the Heavenly Tao. It was up to the clairvoyant. Heavenly Tao, within 2 years, Batian's cultivation will break through to the Cosmic Domain Lord level. Although Long Batian felt that it was impossible, he didn't doubt it at all. He was pleasantly surprised to the extreme. How could he not know what Master God Diviner was thinking? In other words, within 2 years, the clairvoyant master would definitely help him break through to become a level 9 Starry Sky cultivator and a Starry Sky Domain Lord. That way, he would be able to enter the 4th space of the Starry Sky secret realm. Clairvoyant, you. Waving his hand impatiently, Master God Diviner pulled out a Starry Sky guardhood, which glowed with dazzling light. Both Heaven Tao and Dragon Batian were visibly shaken by the sight of the Starry Sky guardhood in Master God Diviner's hand. Cosmic Domain Sovereign Spark. Tiandao's face turned ugly. Long Batian was a grade 9 starry sky cultivator who had devoured a starry sky godhead. Under normal circumstances, if Long Batian wanted to break through to the starry sky domain lord realm under normal circumstances, he would have a very slim chance. This was also the reason why many cultivators were unwilling to devour a starry sky godhood and wanted to improve their strength on their own. Thank you, my lord. Long Batian didn't hesitate to take the starry sky godhood from Master God Diviner. He immediately chose to devour it. It would take him at most 2 years, or even less, to break through to the starry sky domain lord level. In that case, Heaven Dao wouldn't be able to suppress him. Master God Diviner, what do you mean by this? Heaven Dao, for countless years, only the 2 of you have passed my test. In 2 years, the catastrophe will come. I'm going to let you enter the starry sky secret realm 1 year in advance. He didn't seem to want to dwell on it because it had already happened. What else could he do? Goodbye. Heaven Dao left and returned to his Heaven Dao peak. He was ready to enter seclusion and cultivate. He had successfully broken through to the starry sky domain lord level. If he could break through to the starry sky domain emperor level, he wouldn't need to fear Master God Diviner anymore. He was only 1 step away. It seemed easy, but it was 100 times harder to cultivate. Otherwise, there wouldn't be so few starry sky domain emperors in the vast starry sky. My lord, will Heaven Dao be in trouble? Long Batian knew very well that Master God Diviner was obviously biased towards him. If Heaven Dao entered the starry sky secret realm alone, his chances of obtaining the inheritance would be greatly increased. Master God Diviner shook his head and said with a smile, you and Heaven Dao entered the starry sky secret realm at the same time. Whether you can get what you want depends on your fortune and luck. It has nothing to do with me. I just want to tell you that this is your only chance. Only by passing the test can you enter a higher level space. Do you understand? The starry sky secret realm had a total of 9 spaces. Even Long Batian and Heaven Dao had only entered the first 3 spaces. As for the 4th and beyond, they had never entered them. However, the 2 of them were very clear about one thing. It was said that the 4th space and above contained great opportunities. That was why Long Batian and Heaven Dao were unwilling to leave the martial heaven continent despite their cultivation bases. Back then, when the spatial channel opened, countless cultivators entered the starry sky secret realm, but none of them passed the test. Even those who entered the 4th space and beyond failed. I hope the 2 of you won't disappoint me. Yes. Even now, Long Batian's memories of the past were still fresh in his mind. Countless years ago, Master God Diviner had suddenly opened the channel and spread the rumor that the starry sky secret realm required a starry sky domain emperor's personality. Since then, countless cultivators had entered the starry sky secret realm. But what was the result? It was just as Master God Diviner had said. No matter who entered the starry sky secret realm, no one came out alive. Perhaps some people didn't dare to enter the starry sky secret realm, but they were directly sealed or killed by Master God Diviner. Other than a few people, no one on the martial heaven continent knew about this. In the starry sky secret realm, opportunities and dangers coexisted. If you wanted to obtain opportunities, you had to be prepared to sacrifice yourself at any time. Even so, countless cultivators in the starry sky were still searching for the martial heaven continent. If it hadn't been for the God Diviner's seal, they would have long since found it. But even so, in 2 years, when the spatial channel opened, the same thing would happen again. Author's note: the 4th chapter has been delivered. There are still 3 chapters left. They will be delivered one by one in a moment. Chapter 1849. He practiced the annihilation palm for a short while. Then, Longao got up and continued on his way. He was careful along the way. Starry Sky Godhead? Longao was delighted when he saw the Starry Sky Godhead lying in the grass not far away, emitting waves of light. He could clearly sense that this Starry Sky Godhead was a rank 4 Starry Sky Godhead. Master, be careful. Just as Longao was about to get the Starry Sky Godhead, Long Fu's voice sounded in his mind. Long Fu, what's going on? Longao was very curious because he had already sensed the fluctuations in the surrounding space, and there was nothing out of the ordinary. If that was the case, why did Long Fu stop him? Master, the aura here is a little chaotic, you must be careful. So that's why. Longao didn't suspect Long Fu. It seemed like this place was a little tricky. Longao didn't move. He looked around and said coldly, since you're here, please show yourself. Hey! You can actually sense my presence. There was a flash of black, and a man appeared in front of Longao. He was only 130 centimeters tall, a typical midget. With your strength, how can you sense my presence? It's unbelievable. It seems like you're quite capable. Not only did you kill the black tortoise, you even scared away Hell's old ancestor. You're not bad. He was shocked. Longao didn't expect this person to know about his battle with the black tortoise and Hell's old ancestor. In other words, he had been locked on by this person all along, but he didn't know it. Thinking up to here, Longao could be considered shocked to the extreme. If this person wanted to deal with him, how could he deal with it? Just thinking about it made him shiver. Who are you? And who are you? Longao. Longao looked at the other person warily because he couldn't sense the other person's presence. As for the other person's cultivation, he couldn't sense it at all. I am the great Lord Ao Malar, you can call me Ao Malar. Ao Malar? What kind of name was that? He wasn't surprised at all because Longao knew very well that in the vast starry skies, there were countless planes and all sorts of races. There were even some races that he had never heard of before. The only thing that Longao did not know was whether this Omera was a martial artist or a divine beast. As if she could guess what Longao was thinking, Omera chuckled and said, I'm a divine beast. As expected. Brat, your time martial skill and the divine sword in your hand are pretty good. As long as you hand them over, you can pass this trial smoothly. Not only that, this rank 4 starry sky godhead is also yours. No one dared to devour the cosmos godhead of the cosmos secret realm. This was also the real reason why no one dared to touch the starry sky godhead even though it was on the ground. Longao was very depressed. Regardless of whether it was a martial artist or a divine beast, the first thing they said was this. Couldn't they come up with something new? I'm sorry, I can't hand it over. Longao didn't know that his time martial skill and reincarnation sword were very precious even in the vast starry skies. Not to mention ordinary cultivators, even a starry sky domain lord wouldn't be able to resist the temptation of such treasures. It doesn't matter, I'm a very reasonable person. As long as you can defeat me, I'll leave immediately and never appear in front of you again. If you lose, then I'm sorry, you'll have to hand it over. But I can promise you that I won't harm your life. The more the other party acted like this, the more Longao was afraid. What kind of divine beast was the other party's true form? However, the other party's speed and ability to hide her aura were unparalleled in the starry skies. Let's begin. Omera took 3 steps back, provocation was written all over her face, but more than that, she was confident. In her opinion, the other party was just a small rank 1 starry sky cultivator. The reason why he could kill the black tortoise and scare off the old ancestor was because of the treasures in the other party's hand. Long Fu, what is the other party's true form? What realm is she in? Only by knowing yourself and the enemy can you win every battle. If he didn't even know what the other party's true form was, how could he fight? Master, the other party is a rank 2 starry sky divine beast. Her true form is a phantom rat. Sure enough. Longao had already guessed that the other party must be in existence above the rank 1 starry sky realm. Otherwise, no matter how powerful the other party was, she wouldn't be able to escape his senses. Big trouble. How could he deal with a rank 2 starry sky divine beast? Master, the starry sky divine beast phantom rat is proud of its speed. Legend has it that even a rank 4 starry sky cultivator is no match for the speed of a rank 2 starry sky divine beast. You have to be careful. He had just seen Omera's speed, which was comparable to spatial teleportation. As for whether the other party's speed was faster or his own spatial teleportation was faster, He couldn't be sure until now. Thinking of this, Longao smiled and said, Omera, you're a rank 2 starry sky divine beast. If we compete in strength, it will definitely be unfair. Even if you win, you won't feel good. Then what do you want? Omera didn't show the slightest anger. Instead, her face was calm. In any case, she was sure to win. This was the confidence brought by strength. Very simple, we won't compete in strength, but in speed. As long as you can beat me in speed, I'll give you everything. How about it? Compete in speed? Hearing that the other party wanted to compete in speed with her, Omera laughed loudly. In the vast universe, unless the other party was too strong, no one dared to compete in speed with the Phantom Rat clan. It was simply courting death. If it was a competition of other things, Omera might consider it, but in terms of speed, Omera didn't even think about it. She directly agreed, if you can beat me in speed, not only can you leave this place, but you can also get this rank 4 starry sky godhead. I'll also give you a rank 5 starry sky godhead. How about it? It's a deal. It's a deal. Longao was overjoyed. In this battle, he could only win, not lose. If he won, not only could he leave this place smoothly, but he could also get 2 starry sky godheads. One was a rank 4 starry sky godhead, and the other was a rank 5 starry sky godhead. This way, he could deal with Xingkuan. Even if Xingkuan became a rank 5 starry sky cultivator, he wouldn't have to fear him. Begin. Phantom Rat Omera seemed to be impatient. She wanted to see how much courage and confidence the other party had to compete in speed with her. She knew very well that the other party wouldn't shoot arrows for no reason. Author's note, the 5th chapter is here. Chapter 1850. A Battle of Speed. In this battle, he could only win, not lose. With a swoosh, the phantom mouse disappeared. Perhaps because it was too fast, Huang Xiaolong couldn't even see the phantom mouse's afterimage. So fast. Although Longao knew that the phantom mouse was fast, he couldn't help but be shocked when he saw it with his own eyes. He didn't dare to be careless. Under the spatial teleportation, Longao's figure instantly disappeared from where he was. The phantom mouse's attack missed. No matter how fast it was, it couldn't be faster than teleportation. If Longao was still in Nirvana rebirth, even if he was half a step into Starry Sky Realm, he wouldn't be a match for the phantom mouse with teleportation. But the situation was different now. Huang Xiaolong's cultivation had successfully broken through to Starry Sky Realm, and the power of teleportation had increased by several times. What kind of concept was this? Damn, is this teleportation? The phantom mouse was stupefied, because the legendary spatial teleportation had appeared. The pinnacle of speed was teleportation. However, not to mention ordinary Starry Sky Realm Emperors, even Starry Sky Realm Emperors couldn't teleport. Could this be the spatial speed martial technique that Huang Xiaolong had obtained? Greed. The phantom mouse was completely greedy. In the eyes of the phantom mouse, there was nothing more tempting than spatial teleportation. If it could use spatial teleportation as well, then who in the vast starry sky would be able to match it in speed? You lost. Really? The phantom mouse was still full of confidence. Teleportation depended on who was using it. If it was in his hands, it would be invincible. If it was in Huang Xiaolong's hands, it would be a waste of teleportation. The phantom mouse's speed soared to the limit. He wanted to see if his speed could compete with Huang Xiaolong's teleportation. The result? Longao didn't want to waste time with him. With another teleportation, he appeared in front of the rank 4 Starry Sky Godhead. He stored the rank 4 Starry Sky Godhead into his body. He continued to teleport. You won. In front of teleportation, his speed couldn't defeat Huang Xiaolong. Even if he was unwilling to admit it, the truth was in front of him. Rank 5 Starry Sky Godhead. Many thanks. Looking at the rank 5 Starry Sky Godhead in his hand, Longao was excited to the extreme. The rank 5 Starry Sky Godhead that he dreamed of finally got it. Goodbye. Having already defeated the phantom mouse in terms of speed, Longao didn't stay any longer. Who knew how many more dangers awaited him below? He had to hurry up and get on his way. Every minute wasted meant more trouble for him. Wait. Hearing the Phantom Mouse ask him to wait, Longao had a look of disdain on his face as he said, "Don't tell me you don't want to admit your loss." He had already lost. The Phantom Mouse kept telling himself that if he hadn't seen his opponent use spatial teleportation, then he would have just lost. He definitely wouldn't have bothered with this fight. But now, the Phantom Mouse really wanted to learn spatial teleportation. If it missed this rare opportunity, it might not even have the chance to see spatial teleportation in the future. He had to do everything he could to obtain spatial teleportation. "Brat, if you're willing to hand over the spatial teleportation, I can give you anything in exchange. What do you think?" So that was the case. "Omera, I'll tell you the truth. The reason I can teleport is because I obtained it by accident. Even if I'm willing to teach it to you, I'm afraid I wouldn't know how to do it." This was the truth. Longao's spatial teleportation was obtained from the 9-cycle reincarnation technique. He could only cultivate it, but he couldn't teach it to others. The Phantom Mouse Omera stared at Longao. After looking left and right, she didn't think that he was lying. Could it be that she had to give up just like that? She was very unwilling. "I believe you already know that my Phantom Rat clan is famous for our speed in the starry sky. However, the pinnacle of speed is spatial teleportation. Countless years ago, my ancestor successfully comprehended spatial teleportation. However, in the end, he died in temporal teleportation." Temporal teleportation? What was that? Longao didn't know what temporal teleportation was at all. "Senior Omera, I want to ask, what is temporal teleportation?" When temporal teleportation was mentioned, Omera's face was full of yearning. She said helplessly, "I just said that the pinnacle of speed is spatial teleportation. However, the world doesn't know that there is actually something above spatial teleportation. For countless years, no one has been able to master it. Even my ancestor couldn't reproduce temporal teleportation." Longao was shocked. He didn't say anything. Legend has it that there is temporal teleportation. Yes. At this point, Omera didn't seem to know how to continue. She shrugged helplessly and continued, "Temporal teleportation is too far away for you and me. Even if we know about it, it won't be of much use. For so many years, other than my ancestor who could reproduce spatial teleportation, no one has been able to master it." Longao almost didn't wait for Omera to continue. He already knew what she wanted to say. "Senior Omera, please forgive me for not being able to help you with this." Longao was already prepared. If Omera insisted on doing this, then he could only fight. If he couldn't win, then he could just retreat. With his spatial teleportation, even with Omera's speed, she wouldn't be able to kill him. After a deep sigh, Omera said helplessly, "Although I'm not much of a person, I'm not so shameless as to force you to do something you don't want to do. I believe what you said just now. I just have a request." "Senior, please speak." In Longao's view, Aomia was more or less a gentleman. At the very least, he had just defeated the other party in terms of speed, yet Aomia gave him a rank 5 starry sky godhead without saying a word. This point alone was enough to prove Aomia's character. After thinking for a while, Omera seemed to have something she couldn't say. Finally, she said, "Boy, my request is very simple. Can you let me experience your spatial teleportation personally? In an instant." Longao already understood what the other party meant. He wanted to rely on his own personal comprehension to reproduce the space teleportation. As for whether the other party could do it, it was really an unknown. After all, the space teleportation was the pinnacle of speed. If it could be comprehended so easily, then everyone could have the space teleportation. Since things had already reached this point, if he didn't even agree to such a simple request, it would seem a little unkind. However, Longao still said, "Senior, I can let you experience spatial teleportation personally, but I also have a condition. Can you give me another rank 5 starry sky godhead?" If he could get one more starry sky godhead, then it was one. Not to mention, a rank 5 starry sky godhead was too important to him. P.S. Chapter 6 Delivery, The last chapter will be added tomorrow. Chapter 1851. A rank 5 starry sky godhead wasn't some cabbage that could be found on the street. One had to know that a rank 5 starry sky godhead could create a rank 5 starry sky cultivator. No problem. He didn't even think about it, nor did he hesitate. Omera took out a rank 5 starry sky godhead and said, "Deal." Miscalculation. Seeing Omera hand over a rank 5 starry sky godhead so easily, Longao cried out in his heart. But since he had already said it, could he go back on his words? "Senior Omera, feel it carefully. I will only use spatial teleportation once." "Okay." Excitement. With an extremely excited heart, Omera concentrated fully. Because there was only one chance, if he couldn't feel the essence, it meant that he would never be able to achieve the pinnacle of speed, spatial teleportation. In the next second, with the help of spatial teleportation, Longao disappeared in an instant. It was too fast. Even if Omera tried to feel it without blinking, she still couldn't feel anything. Spatial teleportation was different from other things. "Senior Omera, if you want to achieve spatial teleportation, you might as well try to grasp the power of space." Looking at the other's gradually disappearing figure, Omera didn't chase after him. Because before Longao left, she seemed to have thought of something. The power of space. Yes, if you want to grasp spatial teleportation, you must first comprehend the power of space and master it. She sighed deeply. Although she knew this point, it was easier said than done to grasp the power of space. "Long Fu, do I have a chance to grasp spatial teleportation?" In the past, he didn't know that the pinnacle of speed was spatial teleportation. For a long time, Longao thought that spatial teleportation was the pinnacle of speed. With such a heaven-defying sacred art, once he became stronger, his speed would be unparalleled. But now, if he could grasp spatial teleportation, his speed would rise to another level. "Master, it's not that you can't, but not now." "What do you mean?" He was overjoyed. Longao understood the meaning behind Long Fu's words. In other words, he might be able to grasp spatial teleportation. "Master, your strength has yet to reach the point where you can control the power of time." Long Fu obviously didn't want to continue talking. Longao didn't ask, because he knew very well that if Long Fu wanted to talk, there was no need for him to ask. Perhaps, Long Fu would tell him. If Long Fu didn't want to talk, even if he asked, Long Fu might not tell him. In the end, it was still a matter of strength. Although his cultivation had already broken through to the starry sky cultivator realm, within the vast starry skies, a grade 1 starry sky cultivator was the lowest existence. This was just like, the concept of a Hutian warrior and a Xiantian warrior was exactly the same. 2 rank 5 godheads, 5 rank 4 godheads, 18 rank 3 godheads, 26 rank 2 godheads, and 40 rank 1 godheads. 91 starry sky divine sparks. In other words, as long as he left the starry sky secret realm with these starry sky divine sparks, he would be able to create a total of 91 starry sky cultivators. Among them, there were 2 grade 5 starry sky cultivators, 5 grade 4 starry sky cultivators, 18 grade 3 starry sky cultivators, 26 grade 2 starry sky cultivators, and 40 grade 1 starry sky cultivators. What kind of concept was that? Once everyone became starry sky cultivators, the Dragon Valley would be the strongest existence on the Tianwu continent, except for the Oracle, Tian Dao, and Long Batian. Who would dare to provoke them? Just thinking about it made him excited. He had to leave the starry sky secret realm as soon as possible. The sooner he left, the better it would be for him. The sooner he left, the better it would be for the Dragon Valley. Calculating the time, only 4 days had passed since the deadline of a year. Even if the tertiary space was huge and full of dangers, was it possible that he couldn't leave in a year? Longao had already thought about it. If he could not leave the starry sky secret realm within a year, then he would take advantage of the time he spent in the starry sky secret realm to break through the level 1 starry sky cultivator and become a level 2 starry sky cultivator. That was also Longao's plan. Given Longao's talent and potential, if he relied on devouring starry sky divine sparks to make a breakthrough, he could devour all the starry sky divine sparks from grade 1 to grade 5. In less than a year, Longao would become a grade 5 starry sky cultivator. Each had its own benefits. In the end, Longao chose to rely on his own strength instead of devouring starry sky divine sparks. He continued on his way. The journey was peaceful. For 10 days, Longao didn't run into any danger, nor did he find any starry sky divine sparks, starry sky martial arts, or starry sky divine artifacts. Longao didn't try to force it. Luck was something that couldn't be grasped or touched. When it came, it would come. If it didn't come, there was no point in forcing it. Longao treated it with a calm heart. Before he knew it, Longao had entered a swamp. The air was filled with a strong pungent smell. Even Longao felt a little uncomfortable. Taken aback. As a starry sky cultivator, how could he not resist the corrosion of the smell? In just a moment, Longao had already noticed that something was wrong. Not daring to be careless, he immediately operated the starry sky force in his body and arranged a starry sky chi shield outside his body. Finally, he managed to resist the corrosion of the surrounding smell. However, in the next moment, a strange red gas was suddenly emitted from the swamp. Not only was it pungent, but it could also attack. Not good. Longao was shocked to find that the red gas had entered his body and started to corrode his blood, internal organs, and even dantian. What was going on? He was being attacked for no reason. Could it be that someone was causing trouble? The reincarnation sword had already appeared in his hand. The reincarnation sword chi came out one after another. It was continuous. The surrounding began to attack continuously. Longao's intention was very clear. He wanted to borrow the reincarnation sword to see what was going on. Was this trick effective? Obviously, it was useless, because when the samsara sword chi attacked the swamp, it was like a stone sinking into the sea, not splashing the slightest ripple. Seeing this situation, Longao seemed to have guessed something. With a surprised look on his face, he kept retreating, ready to withdraw from the swamp first, and then think of other ways to see if he could smoothly pass through this endless swamp. Could Longao get out? Obviously not, because there was also an endless swamp behind him. In other words, Longao was now completely trapped in the swamp. It was almost impossible for him to get out. He could neither advance nor retreat. Even in other directions, there was also an endless swamp. P.S. The 7th chapter was delivered last night. Today, there are 4 more chapters. Tomorrow, there will be 10 more chapters. It will start in the early morning tonight. Don't scold. Let's see what happens first. If Xiaoju can't do it this time, I won't ask for any more votes from now on. Chapter 1852. The red gas released from the swamp was like a vengeful spirit, firmly entangling Longao. Brother Long, my sister and I will help you protect your body. Hearing Bai Ling's spiritual sense transmission, Longao finally breathed a sigh of relief. He had been careless just now and had been corroded by the red gas. If the two of them hadn't acted in time, who knew what would have happened? What the hell was this place? Not daring to be careless, Longao slowly advanced forward, vigilantly looking around. A swamp. Boundless and endless. Master, be careful. Hearing Long Fu's spiritual sense transmission, Longao hurriedly dodged. Boom. With a loud sound, flames suddenly shot out in all directions in midair. Seeing this situation, Longao's complexion was simply gloomy to the extreme. It was as unsightly as it could get. Who is it? No one answered. Even now, Longao couldn't be sure if there was anyone around. Not only him, even Xiling, Bai Ling, and Long Fu couldn't be sure. This was going to be troublesome. A rank 6 starry sky godhead? Looking at the glowing starry sky godhead not far away, Longao's heart skipped a beat. There wasn't the slightest surprise because no one knew if there was any danger around the starry sky godhead. A rank 6 starry sky godhead was the most powerful starry sky godhead he had ever seen. Once he obtained it, he could create a rank 6 starry sky cultivator. Wait and see. In the end, Longao couldn't hold back because the surroundings had returned to normal. If he didn't take action, Wouldn't he be wasting a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? The temptation of a rank 6 starry sky godhead was too great. Even Longao couldn't resist it. He was getting closer and closer to the starry sky godhead. When Longao was less than 3 meters away from the starry sky godhead, the situation suddenly changed. A tornado suddenly appeared in the swamp and swept towards Longao. Fuck. He cursed fiercely. The tornado came too suddenly, and even he didn't have time to react. Heaven and earth grieved, self-created martial arts. With Longao as the center, a huge tornado was formed. The two tornadoes collided. Just like that, Longao relied on his own powerful strength to forcibly resist the swamp tornado. Even so, Longao couldn't help but feel a lingering fear. The tornado stopped moving and continued to stare at him. Who exactly are you? Longao had already sensed that there was definitely an expert within the tornado. Still, no one answered. What was going on? Big Brother Long, there shouldn't be any martial artists or divine beasts in the swamp space. This place is attacked by the heavens and earth. You have to be careful. So that was the case. Longao would rather deal with martial artists and divine beasts than face attacks from the heavens and the earth. They came and went without a trace, unfathomable. Another tornado appeared, and then, 4 tornadoes appeared at the same time in the 4 directions of north, south, east and west, surrounding Longao in the center. He didn't move. If the enemy didn't move, he wouldn't move. Longao didn't know what the 4 tornadoes wanted to do. If he moved first, he wouldn't know what to do. The attack began. The 4 tornadoes in the surroundings were like a magnificent army with thousands of men and horses. They swept towards Longao crazily. Even the swamp was blown out. The sky was filled with red gas. Not to mention personally experiencing it, just looking at it would make one feel crazy. Longao continued to use heaven and earth grieved, creating a tornado that fiercely collided with the 4 tornadoes around him. Watching from a distance, 5 huge tornadoes, like 5 pillars holding up the sky, crazily collided with each other. After an unknown period of time, the 4 tornadoes slowly stopped, and the swamp returned to normal. With the help of the gas shield, Longao sat on the ground, panting heavily. The tornadoes were too powerful. Fortunately, his cultivation had broken through to the starry sky realm. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to resist the tornadoes with his half-step starry sky realm cultivation. Until then, Longao seemed to understand why Master Marvelous Mathematician had forced him to perceive the power of origins in order to become a starry sky realm cultivator. It was because the tertiary space was far more dangerous than the secondary space. It was impossible for anyone below the starry sky realm to pass through it. Master, something isn't right here. Longao nodded. How could he not have thought of that? If everything had been normal, he wouldn't have been attacked. Long Fu, have you sensed anything? Master, I haven't sensed anything yet, but you must not touch the starry sky divine sparks here. Why not? Longao was surprised because he had entered the starry sky realm for the starry sky godhead. Who wouldn't be willing to obtain more starry sky godheads? Moreover, the starry sky godhead he had just found was a rank 6 starry sky godhead. What did this mean? Master, I don't know why, but I feel that there's something wrong with the starry sky divine sparks here. For example, the level 6 one you saw just now seems to be controlled by a mysterious force. If you touch it by force, I'm afraid that you'll be devoured by the starry sky divine sparks. Longao was quite shocked. He didn't doubt Long Fu's words. Just because he couldn't sense it didn't mean that Long Fu couldn't either. If that were the case, it would be quite terrifying. Being devoured by the starry sky divine sparks? If Long Fu hadn't said it himself, he wouldn't have believed it even if he was beaten to death. Alas! He heaved a deep sigh. If it were a level 1 or level 2 starry sky divine sparks, he would have given up. However, it was a level 6 one, and he couldn't do anything about it. But in front of his life, everything was fleeting clouds. Longao wouldn't risk his life for nothing. If he lost his life for a level 6 starry sky divine sparks, It would be like trying to steal a chicken only to end up losing the rice used to lure it. After recovering a little, Longao stood up again and looked around vigilantly. He didn't know if the 4 tornadoes would continue to come. It was better to be safe than sorry. The best way was to leave this place as soon as possible. Before Longao could continue on his way, the tornadoes suddenly appeared and continued to sweep towards him. Not daring to be careless, Longao continued to use heaven and earth sorrow to deal with the tornadoes. Once every 10 minutes, in a short 2 hours, the tornadoes had come 6 times. Not to mention Longao, even a man made of iron would find it hard to endure. If this continued, he would be exhausted to death. Longao wasn't willing to die here. This time, Longao did not have the slightest hesitation. Since he was going to be attacked by the tornado, he might as well choose to strike first to gain the upper hand. Otherwise, if it continued like this, he would definitely die. Chapter 1853. Once every 10 minutes. Who could stand it? The tornadoes seemed to be endless. Longao dashed forward with all his might. As he sprinted, he used the heaven and earth sorrow to defend against the tornadoes. The swamps were boundless. It was just like a vast ocean. One could not see the end of it. No one knew when it would end. Longao was very clear in his heart that going on like this was not the way to go. Master, to the front left. Hearing Long Fu's voice, Longao did not hesitate and dashed to the front left immediately. For some reason, his space teleportation, which had increased in power, was suddenly restricted. Could there be something wrong with the space here? At this moment, Longao could not care about anything else. As time passed by, the tornadoes were getting stronger. He could not afford to drag this out any longer. To the front left, there was a huge rock in each of the 4 directions: north, south, east, west. Longao did not suspect Long Fu. With a single stride, he entered the area. Lin Fan was overjoyed. The huge rocks around him were holding back the tornadoes. He could finally heave a sigh of relief. At this moment, a dragon's roar rang through the entire swamp. Dragon's roar? Longao looked outside the huge rock in shock. He knew better than anyone what a dragon's roar meant. The swamp, which had just calmed down, suddenly began to spin crazily. In just a few minutes, the swamp had converged into a black dragon that was 100 meters long. The only difference between this dragon and the dragons of the Dragon Clan was that this one had a pair of wings. Star God Dragon? Longao had already sensed it. The black dragon before him did not seem to be a real dragon. In other words, this black dragon before him was formed by energy. Unbelievable. Lad, so you're just a coward. I thought you were strong. Ha 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 ha. The black dragon laughed maniacally. His laughter was filled with contempt and mockery, as though he did not care about Longao at all. Big brother dragon, what are you doing? I want to slay a dragon. Without giving Bai Ling any chance to speak, Longao took a big stride forward, and his entire figure had already dashed out. Courting death. Seeing the other party rushing out, the black dragon roared. Although it was only a grade 1 starry sky god beast, this place was still its territory. Not to mention that the other party was just a grade 1 starry sky cultivator. Even if it was a grade 2 starry sky cultivator, it would not put it in its eyes. This is my territory, and I call the shots. Holding the Samsara sword chi shot out. Innate ability, Dragon Roar. At the same time as the dragon's roar sounded, an illusory dragon shadow of 1,000 feet long suddenly appeared behind Longao's back. With the breakthrough in his cultivation, the power of his innate ability had also increased by several times. Space froze. Not good. Sensing that the flow of space in the surroundings had been forcefully changed, the huge black dragon had already sensed that something was wrong. Before he could react, the reincarnation sword chi had already attacked. It was the 5th form of the reincarnation 36 forms, reincarnation meteorite explosion. The reincarnation sword chi meteor explosion blew up the black dragon, which turned into black light and disappeared. So weak. Longao was a little dumbfounded to be able to kill the black dragon so easily. However, before he could figure it out, countless black dots suddenly appeared in the surrounding swamp. In the blink of an eye, a 300-meter-long black dragon reappeared. Ha ha ha, in the swamp, I am immortal. You think you can do that? Looking at the reborn black dragon, Longao seemed to have thought of something, and his face was extremely ugly. Without giving the black dragon any chance to speak, Longao's body dashed out once again. Annihilation Palm. Countless palm shadows shot out, striking the black dragon directly. Palm after palm, the sky was filled with palm shadows. The black dragon was slaughtered once again, but this time, it was reborn even faster, turning back into a 10,000 feet long dragon. Ha 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 ha. The black dragon laughed maniacally. If it was anywhere else, it would have definitely fallen. But here, in its own territory, it was an immortal existence. You want to fight me? Longao summoned his reincarnation doppelganger from within his body. With his cultivation base breaking through to level 1 Starry Sky Cultivator, the reincarnation doppelganger had also leveled up to level 1 Starry Sky Cultivator. Speaking of immortality, the reincarnation doppelganger was the same. Longao returned. As for the reincarnation doppelganger, it was engaged in a fierce battle with the black dragon. One man and one dragon exchanged blows. Based on its own strength alone, how could the black dragon be a match for the reincarnation doppelganger? But with the help of the swamp, the black dragon was not afraid of the reincarnation doppelganger. The reincarnation doppelganger's strength was like the ocean, endless and indestructible. It was precisely because of this that Longao used the reincarnation doppelganger to deal with the black dragon. As though it had guessed something, the black dragon roared continuously. Its murderous aura filled the entire swamp. But the place where Longao was at was obviously a forbidden ground. The black dragon could not enter at all. Not caring about the battle between the man and the dragon, Longao took this opportunity to carefully observe the 4 boulders around him. He knew very well that the reason why the black dragon could not attack this place was mainly because of these 4 boulders. Mysterious and powerful forces. Longao did not even dare to touch these 4 boulders. But out of curiosity, he decided to study them. Longao, this is the soul-suppressing tablet. Soul-suppressing tablet? You know these 4 boulders? He regretted asking. Xiling had just called out the names of the 4 stone tablets. But he still did not know what the soul-suppressing tablet was. Longao, the soul-suppressing tablet. Legend has it that it is a kind of tablet that can suppress a starry sky essence spirit. It is mysterious and powerful. According to my guess, if I am not wrong, there should be a powerful starry sky essence spirit sealed in this swamp space. What level is the starry sky essence spirit? It should be at least a grade 7 starry sky essence spirit. Longao felt surprised because he knew very well what a grade 7 starry sky essence spirit meant. Even if the strength of the starry sky essence spirit was not as good as the main body, as long as it was not seriously injured, its strength should be at least at grade 6 starry sky realm. If that was the case, how could he deal with it? He did not have the slightest worry. Even if the other party was strong, with the soul-suppressing tablet suppressing it, the other party would not be able to leave. Therefore, he could sit back and relax. His current task was to kill the black dragon and leave this swamp space. For this swamp, he was just a passerby. Longao, you have to be careful. This black dragon is obviously trying to lure you. He wants to break the soul-suppressing tablet and release the starry sky essence spirit under the swamp. Remember, do not attack the 4 soul-suppressing tablets. Otherwise, the consequences would be unimaginable. P.S. There are 2 more chapters. Chapter 1854. So, that was the reason. Longao had always been curious as to why the black dragon kept pestering him. So, it was to destroy the 4 soul-stabilizing tablets. Lin Fan chuckled. How could he possibly attack the 4 soul-suppressing tablets? The black dragon's imagination was a bit too wild. T just because he wouldn't attack the 4 soul-stabilizing tablets didn't mean that the reincarnation clone wouldn't. He hadn't given the reincarnation clone an order just now. Just as Longao was about to summon the reincarnation clone and give the order, it was already too late. The black dragon was doing this on purpose. The battle between the man and the dragon had already affected the 4 soul stabilizing tablets. Master, I can finally help you break the seal of the soul stabilizing tablet. Ha 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 ha. There was a loud boom. The black dragon, together with the reincarnation avatar's strongest attack, directly crashed into the 4 soul suppressing tablets. Nothing happened. The black dragon was completely destroyed, and the reincarnation clone had returned to Longao's body. As for the swamp, it was silent. Silence. One word. Silence. It was way too quiet. So quiet that it was scary. Longao, hurry and leave. Hearing Xiling's cry, Longao knew what was going on. Since he couldn't teleport, he could only rely on his speed to leave. Would Longao be able to leave? Crack. 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 Just then, cracking sounds came from the 4 soul stabilizing tablets. Without a doubt, the 4 soul stabilizing tablets had already started to crack due to the violent collision between the black dragon and the reincarnation clone. In just a few seconds, the 4 soul stabilizing tablets turned into dust. Ha ha ha. 10,000 years. It's been 10,000 years. I, Jiyu Wantong, am finally out. Ha 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 ha. A figure appeared in the sky above the swamp. Dressed in black, his face looked as though he had been through a lot. Jiyu Wantong? Starry Sky Region King. How could a Starry Sky Region King appear in the tertiary space? Longao, hurry and leave. Be it Xiling or Bai Ling, they were completely stunned. This was because Jiyu Wantong, who had just been released, was not a grade 7 Starry Sky cultivator, but a genuine Starry Sky domain emperor, the strongest person in the vast Starry Sky. Under normal circumstances, Jiyu Wantong shouldn't have shown up in the tertiary space. As for the reason, nobody knew, not even Xiling and Bai Ling, except for the marvelous mathematician. He couldn't care too much about it. Upon hearing the other party's strength, Longao was completely dumbfounded. The Starry Sky Region Emperor was a super existence that was comparable to the divine mathematician. Even if Jiyu Wantong was only a primordial spirit existence, he was still not someone that Mo Wuji could contend against. F***CK, my luck is really bad. Kid, do you want to leave? Before Longao could leave, a terrifying power had already enveloped him. What kind of power was this? Longao found that he couldn't move at all. The power his opponent used was undoubtedly the Starry Sky Domain Emperor's forbidden power. A grade 7 Starry Sky cultivator would only have a glimpse of the power of the Starry Sky Domain. A grade 8 Starry Sky cultivator had truly mastered the power of the Starry Sky Domain. A grade 9 Starry Sky cultivator could suppress the power of the Starry Sky Domain, or even destroy it. A grade 9 Starry Sky Domain Lord could reproduce the power of the Starry Sky region, and a grade 9 Starry Sky Domain Emperor could transform the power of the Starry Sky region into the forbidden power of the Starry Sky region. Jiyu Wantong was a grade 9 Starry Sky Domain Emperor, so his power was undoubtedly the forbidden power of the Starry Sky region. Longao couldn't resist such a powerful force at all. He was doomed. Thank you for breaking the 4 soul-suppressing tablets, but I won't let you go. Go into reincarnation. Jiyu Wantong. Before Jiyu Wantong could make a move, Master Marvelous Mathematician's voice suddenly sounded. Then, Master Marvelous Mathematician arrived and stood face to face with Jiyu Wantong. The two looked at each other. Seeing the divine mathematician who suddenly appeared, Longao finally let out a sigh of relief. Master Marvelous Mathematician, you sealed me for 10,000 years. According to your promise, as long as I can break the seal, you will let me leave the Starry Sky Secret Realm. Master Marvelous Mathematician didn't get angry. Instead, he smiled and said, Jiyu Wantong, according to our agreement, as long as you can break the seal, I will let you leave the Starry Sky Secret Realm. However, the condition is that you are not allowed to leave the 4th space. Now that you have come to the 3rd space with the help of a magic, the agreement is automatically cancelled. Jiyu Wantong could have left the Starry Sky Secret Realm, But when he heard Master Marvelous Mathematician's words, his expression changed instantly. Although his original body had died and only his starry sky primordial spirit was left, it didn't matter. Given his strength, as long as he could leave the starry sky secret realm and return to the vast starry sky, he had countless ways to find his original body. By then, it would be almost impossible for Master Marvelous Mathematician to seal him again. However, the situation was completely different now. His original body had been destroyed, and only his starry sky primordial spirit was left. He was no match for Master Marvelous Mathematician. Now that he had broken the seal, Jiyu Wantong certainly didn't want to be sealed again. Master Marvelous Mathematician, you are also the Grand Ruler of the Starry Sky Domain. How can you be so shameless? Jiyu Wantong had an urge to kill Master Marvelous Mathematician, but his reason told him that he had to endure. A little impatience spoiled great plans. If you can defeat me, not to mention leaving the Star Secret Realm, even giving you the entire Star Secret Realm wouldn't be a problem, the clairvoyant master said with a smile on his face. It was as if he was playing a game of cat and mouse. Jiyu Wantong felt a headache when he saw this, but he still forcibly endured it. Master Marvelous Mathematician, even if you won't let me go, shouldn't you at least give me a fair chance? I want to enter the fifth space. Even if I die inside, I won't have the slightest complaint. Back when Jiyu Wantong had entered the Martial Heaven continent, his goal had been to enter the Starry Sky Secret Realm. However, he had never imagined that he would be killed by Master Marvelous Mathematician as soon as he entered the Starry Sky Secret Realm. Master Marvelous Mathematician was an unrivaled existence within the Starry Sky Secret Realm. His original body had been destroyed, and his Starry Sky primordial spirit had been sealed for over 10,000 years. Even now, Jiyu Wantong was still in a daze. Why had he entered the Starry Sky Secret Realm? Wouldn't it be better to be an overlord in the Starry Sky? In the end, it was all due to greed. It really was greed that killed people. Jiyu Wantong had thought himself unrivaled. He hadn't expected that there would be someone stronger than him. Otherwise, he definitely wouldn't have taken the risk to enter the Starry Sky Secret Realm. No. I already warned you that as long as you could break the seal in the fourth space, not only would you be able to leave the Starry Sky Secret Realm, but you would also be able to enter the fifth space to look for what you wanted. However, you have already broken the rules. According to the rules, I will kill you. Master Marvelous Mathematician's attack this time was different from before. This time, he would completely destroy Jiyu Wantong. P.S. There is one last chapter. Chapter 1855. He was greatly surprised. Clairvoyant, you, he snorted. Clairvoyant didn't seem to want to talk anymore. He extended his right hand and pointed at Jiyu Wantong, who had been showing off a moment ago, turned into black light spots and disappeared in the swamp. Longao was dumbfounded and surprised. Was that the strength of Clairvoyant? Although the Starry Sky Secret Realm was the territory of the Divine Mathematician, the fact that the Divine Mathematician could kill Jiyu Wantong so easily was enough to prove how powerful he was. Longao, what happened to Jiyu Wantong was just an accident. He didn't belong to the tertiary space at all. This test doesn't count. Keep going. Got it. Longao didn't ask any more questions. Yang Qi knew full well that if Master God Diviner wanted to talk, then even if he asked, Master God Diviner would tell him. And if Master God Diviner didn't want to talk, then even if he asked, he wouldn't. Following the departure of the God Diviner and the death of Jiyu Wantong, the surrounding swamp suddenly disappeared. There were rocks everywhere. Longao didn't continue on his way, he found a secluded place and sat down. Longao was a bit confused about what had happened to Jiyu Wantong. A Cosmos Domain Emperor had already appeared in the fourth space. What kind of beings were there in the fifth space and beyond? Why did even the Cosmos Domain Emperors want to go to the fifth space so badly? Longao was almost certain that there were other Cosmos Domain Emperors in the mysterious realm of stars apart from Jiyu Wantong, it was just that he hadn't met them yet. If I have a chance in the future, I'll definitely enter the fifth space and see what secrets it holds. Brother Long, Remember that you shouldn't enter the mysterious realm of stars until you're strong enough. Why is that? It's simple. This is clairvoyant's territory. No matter if he's your friend or foe, you'll be in his hands once you enter the mysterious realm of stars. I see. After resting for a while, Longao got up and continued on his way. Clairvoyant had just said that Gu Wantong in the swamp was just an accident. He shouldn't have existed in the tertiary space, but in the fourth space. With the appearance of the Starry Sky Domain Emperor, Longao became even more cautious. Thankfully, Master God Diviner had suddenly shown up. Otherwise, he would have been killed beyond the shadow of a doubt. With his strength, how could he be Gu Wantong's opponent? It was best that such an accident did not occur. If the God Diviner wasn't on the martial heaven continent, how would he deal with such a supreme expert? He was extremely vigilant. 9 provinces continent. Within the Dragon Valley. After refining the Starry Sky Godhead for such a long time, Longao finally broke through to the Starry Sky realm. The Starry Sky Godhead that Longao had devoured was a grade 6 Starry Sky Godhead. In other words, if he continued to refine it, there was no doubt that Longao could advance to a grade 6 Starry Sky Cultivator. The current Tianwu continent, including the 9 continents. Other than the 19 people who had entered the Starry Sky Secret Realm, Longao was the first person in the martial heaven continent to break through to the Starry Sky in 10,000 years. In other words, in the current Sky Martial continent and the 9 continents, Longao was the true number 1 person. Not to mention outsiders, even within the Dragon Valley, only a few people knew about Longao's breakthrough to the Starry Sky. Long Yi was very excited because with his father's breakthrough, the Dragon Valley could now dominate the 9 continents, or even the entire Tianwu continent. Who would dare to go against the Dragon Valley? Within the pavilion. Father, since you have become a Starry Sky cultivator, why don't we take advantage of this opportunity to dominate the Tianwu continent in one fell swoop? Just thinking about it made him excited because the Long family was just a small grade 9 family that could be bullied by anyone. Long family, the family was the lowest existence. But now, in just a few years, the family had grown to the point where it was today, and a Starry Sky cultivator had appeared. There had never been a superpower that could have a Starry Sky cultivator. Longao shook his head and said, before Aoa left, he specifically told me that even if my cultivation broke through to the Starry Sky, I must not touch the Tianwu continent. Although I don't know why, Aoa definitely wouldn't say that for no reason. Aoa's meaning? Long Yi was very curious. He didn't know what his son meant. According to my guess, Aoa is like this because of the godly mathematician and the heavenly Taos. Let's endure for now and wait for Aoa to return. At this point, what else could Long Yi say? Father, Ying'er has been devouring the Starry Sky Divine Spark for so long. According to normal circumstances, Ying'er should have broken through to the Starry Sky. I don't know why, but I still haven't broken through. Long Yi was very worried. He didn't know what was going on with Long Ying. Others might not know, but how could Long Yi not know? According to the timeline, Long Ying had devoured the Starry Sky Divine Spark before Longao. Longao had used the Starry Sky Divine Spark to become a Starry Sky cultivator, so Long Ying should have broken through long ago. But what was the result? Longao smiled. Ying'er has only devoured a grade 1 Starry Sky Divine Spark. According to normal circumstances, she should have broken through long ago. However, Ying'er's constitution is a bit special, so it's normal for her to break through late. But once she breaks through, her strength will far surpass other grade 1 Starry Sky cultivators. So that's how it was. Father, according to your calculations, how long will it take for Ying'er to break through to Starry Sky cultivator? Long Yi knew very well that although his father's cultivation had broken through to Starry Sky cultivator, the more Starry Sky cultivators there were, the better. This way, Dragon Valley's strength would continue to grow. No more than 3 months. Hearing his father's words, Long Yi was overjoyed. He never thought that Long Ying would break through to Starry Sky cultivator in 3 months. In other words, Dragon Valley would have 2 Starry Sky cultivators in 3 months. Not only that, The starry sky divine spark that his father had devoured was a grade 6 starry sky divine spark. At this rate, his father would become a grade 6 starry sky cultivator sooner or later. Just thinking about it made him excited. Long Yi and Long Haosha didn't say anything because the two of them were waiting for one person. One was waiting, while the other was waiting for his grandson. Once Longao returned to Dragon Valley, it would be the time for Dragon Valley to rise. The two of them had already decided that as long as Longao didn't return, they would bide their time. However, there was one thing that Dragon Valley could do now, and that was to develop its strength with all its might. Everything was ready, except for the east wind. P.S. Today's update has been delivered. Tomorrow, 10 chapters will be released. You're tuning in to the Celestial War YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories,